Hey, howdy everybody, and welcome back to the streaming sofa. Happy Wednesday evening. The week halfway over. We are past the hard parts, and now we can just cruise on into the weekend just around the corner. I am here one day later than I planned to be because I got tired yesterday. I fully just got sleepy. It's one of those things that happens. You work a whole day and you come home feeling energized and ready to go, or you leave the office ready to go and energized, and you get home and then, that 5 to 10 minutes pass where you kind of like settle in, you get out of the work headspace, get back into your normal headspace. And in my case, my brain said, and stop. and done. We are clear. And it was decidedly not the moment for me to start streaming. I just got fucking tired, guys. So I'm here tonight, refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to rock and roll with the last official demo disc dive that we are doing as part of our Jampacked September. Yes, this September both started in August and is ending in October. That is the Tony Blue guarantee. We don't stop here based on what the calendar says, unless you're talking about the literal days of the week. So I'm considering this the last week of September. So you're welcome. We're doing more PS1 streams, god damn it. Even if it wasn't, like, anyone, if you've been following this channel for any length of time whatsoever, you know that my default is the PS1 anyway. So it's not like we're making huge changes to the programming. We're just gonna keep on rocking and rolling with one of my favorite systems of all time. Because here's the other thing about it, is that we are going to, in the next week here, we are going to kick off the next long play game, the next backlog clear, or the next backlog game back into the world of finishing games, actually. And spoiler alert, it's going to be a PS1 game. So, brace yourselves for that. Prepare for a lot of old polygons. That's just what this channel is about now. Of course, it's not about that exclusively. And in fact, I actually have something completely different to start with tonight. I went to an arcade on my lunch break. I do it from time to time. There still are a couple of arcades around town, and decided to go on a little bit of a trip, go a little bit out of my way, and got myself in that long haul of UFO catcher games and adopted myself a new son. I got this from a claw game literally earlier today. It was one of those ones where you don't actually do where you don't actually use the claw to grab the prize. It was, here's a tub of ping pong balls, and here's a takoyaki grill that's been like cut in half. And one of the spots on that grill was painted red. So you have to pick up a ping pong ball, drop it in. If it lands on the red zone, you win the prize. After genuinely only 4 attempts, made it happen. So I thought that we would do a little unboxing today. I did not set up an unboxing camera. I'm not that crazy. But I thought that we would pop this bad boy open and see what it looks like. Honestly, one of the only reasons that I got it was because it is so rare that there will be a prize in a claw game that I give a shit about. Right? like honestly, a lot of them, a lot of UFO catcher games tend to be like anime figures, right? a lot of Vocaloid stuff. You know, you can get your Hatsune Miku kind of any day of the week, but there are other like Vocaloid characters and stuff. All things that I just don't follow, right? I've talked before about how like I don't like hate anime, but I also don't watch it. You know, like I just don't really engage with it that often. I have watched anime, but I watch anime the same way that I watch movies in so far as this is a thing that sounds interesting and I want to see, right? I am not like drawn to anime by any stretch of the imagination. You know, like I'm drawn to like genre and storytelling and tone and stuff a lot more than I am to any specific medium. This is Valeno, this is not your opportunity to come in here and start dropping. Look, I know that we were talking earlier about how I don't have an anime channel in my Discord. Doesn't mean you just start dropping shit into my list here in chat. That's not how this goes. Though I have seen you mention this before, and I think I may have actually put it on my watch list. That might actually, yeah, you did actually talk to me about this one. See, this is part of the problem, is that even when things are suggested to me, okay, yeah, it's auto completing in my search results for fucking Letterboxd. I do have this in my watch list. Yes. Oh yeah. This is like the cyber cop show with the it's like with the robots and the really thick lines. Yes. Yeah, there's a decent chance that I would enjoy that. No, but going back to like, you know, like claw games, you know, when they're filled with like fucking like Bleach characters and stuff like that, like these are just things that I just don't know. I don't have any real affinity for them. And I'm not drawn by the kind of like general sense of it would just be cool to win something. Like if I'm gonna win something, I want to win something that I care about. Mega Man is one of those things. So I have broken the factory sealed Scotch tape. Oh, hang on. There's more of it. I did not spot it. I want to be careful. Yeah, because obviously I give a shit about this box. This box is going in the trash. I promise you that right now. I have actually been throwing a lot of things away. I mentioned care about Mega Man to dedicate several years of my yeah, I dedicate an entire month to this little blue fuck and all of his weird spin-off adventures and bullshit he gets into with his dumbass friends. I'm already looking forward to the next May. I'm already looking forward to the next one. I keep vacillating. I keep vacillating back and forth. Let's be real. You do not care about the spinoffs. I don't care about a lot of the spinoffs. I wouldn't say all of them. I care about like the Zero series, you know, like we're still going to play those, you know, like, and the thing that I care about like the Legends games. Insofar as, and I've talked about this a lot, insofar as I do find them interesting, like they are historically interesting for how like beloved they are, despite being these kind of like weird, clunky action RPG type things. I think they're interesting because I'm gonna hop into your stream and not have to play them. Yeah, exactly. Well, so that's the other part of it is, you know, like I think I'd have a difficult time going through the Legends games kind of on my own. I mean, I had a hard enough time going through some of the X games on my own. Like that, those wouldn't have happened without our little collabo thing that we do. But I am looking forward to it because they are some of my favorite streams that we do. Even if the games are bad, at least they're funny in most cases. Unless you're called X6. And ultimately, you know, it's just a fun franchise to engage in. All right, our boy is really securely packaged here. Fucking masking. It's like this is wrapped by my grandmother. That sounds like a joke. It's not. My grandmother, she doesn't do it anymore. Well, not as often, I suppose. But growing up, infamous for using fucking packing tape on Christmas and birthday presents. All right, I have freed him from his cardboard. There are multiple steps to this. I didn't realize that this was going to need to be constructed. But our boy is looking like one of the toys from Sid's room in Toy Story. I did talk about that on stream. Yeah, I went and saw, because it was the, 30th anniversary of Toy Story recently. That's just him after Capcom's done with it. Yeah. Yeah, this is Mega Man as he is now. Yeah, hey, turns out original Toy Story, still a pretty good movie. Still works pretty well. And it's kind of a fascinating thing to look at now with how far CG has come. To like see just like how quickly you that movie ping-pongs in like visual quality. Here's his torso. Stop, please. Please don't. It's a good pose. The fact that it's also, I think it's literally one pose, so I don't understand why this thing is in pieces. If it's not a posable model, then why have it separated? Unless this thing just ends up being a lot taller than I'm expected to be. Look at them getaway sticks. This is it's not like a gunpla, you know? Like we're not following crazy instructions here. It's literally put the plastic on the plastic. Oh, can this old idiot do this though? Stand by. It's like that thing in Legends of the the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. Screaming at the kids. Turn the middle around! Turn it around, you idiots! This thing sits really far back on the base, too. All right. It's a good pose. It's actually a really good pose. I really dig that. It's pretty big too. And it doesn't, like, it's all, obviously it's all plastic, but it feels like solid. It feels solid enough that it's not like gonna like fall apart. He might split at the torso. He might fall off the base, like the parts that aren't like directly connected. But like it seems molded well. Great. Well, so now I have a classic Mega Man to go alongside my X. Which give me a second here. Let me put this box garbage back together. I'll go grab him off the shelf and show you guys that one. Un momento. Por favor. Very risky moving this one. Yeah, because he does not. So the X figure is very different. Oh, he's also very dusty. Hang on, I don't want anyone to see my shame. Dusting off X, just like Capcom does every 3 to 6 years. And much like Capcom, I'm not doing anything with him. I'm just doing it to just like show him off. It's like, no, yeah, I have it. I have him. See how I have him? Now stop asking me about it. All right. So here, Marvel's Capcom Infinite was his last game. Man, that's sad. So here is X. Now this one is actually fully opposable or posable, not opposable. He doesn't have thumbs, I guess. It is kind of designed for like this one pose. It's kind of like mid-air. So that's why it has this weird like claw that like holds his waist so that he can kind of like float, sort of float. Again, I actually really, I like the design on this. And this one, this one actually did have to like build. Like this one came in pieces, and the box, which is still up there in the corner, has like other like faces, like there's other expressions. I think this one has, if I'm remembering correctly, I think that there is both a buster arm and then just a like a normal hand, so that you could do either. Also, the Mega Buster is you know, in pieces. So if you so you know, you can go, you can basically go, so there's, you know, there's X2, there's X3, and you put them together. And you get X4. You know, you basically get, you go through the whole thing. Also, this can light up. I'm guessing the battery has long since died, because I've had this for a number of years. This was a gift from a friend. Probably like 10 years ago. But it's a good figurine. I mean, it, dude really moves. Like it is a fully, in all sorts of crazy positions. Why won't you put me in a good video game again, please? I've stopped sulking. Zero, I'm coming with you. Okay. So yeah. So I have my my two boys now, who are this is Mega Man from the past trying to protect his future self from becoming irrelevant. This is what that looks like now. Well, there you go. This has been Tony's Toy Corner. Now I get to go through the fun process of like putting all this shit back together and try to get it to stand in the same pose, because I have not moved this thing in years. That's why it was dust all over it. So, oh God. And the claw, the claw just fell off. Well, that is a problem for future Tony. So yeah, you know, again, like and I actually don't really like collect like figurines or anything either. Like, again, like I am the kind of person who my list of things that I like, my list of things that I enjoy is fairly long and, you know, diverse-ish. The list of things that I like enough to get merch and stuff of is significantly smaller. Like significantly smaller. Like all the stuff that's on these shelves back here, most of it is gifts from friends, you know, and a lot of it is like handmade stuff that friends have made me, rather than a bunch of, you know, like figures and shit that I have bought. Like there are like plushies and stuff of like video game characters. I have a Kirby and some Pac-Man stuff and everything that's kind of out of frame. But yeah, there's very few things that I kind of like go out of my way to get merch for. So when I find something in the wild, like I did today, you know, you got to go for it. So there's your update. There's your just chatting part of the stream in which I tell you about the fun thing I did, which is I played an arcade game and I won a toy. We have business to get to. We have been working our way through the PlayStation Underground demo discs. We are going to crack in to the PlayStation Underground number 3 tonight. And just like before, you know, we'll probably do like 2 full discs or 2 full issues, I should say. This does get into a thing. Okay, yeah, because right. The first ones were called just like number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Yeah, so I do have these ordered correctly. So we're now in the 3rd year of PlayStation Underground existing. I'm excited to be breaking off a new year here because at this point the holidays have happened, you know, things have already moved on, so we are likely going to be seeing like a completely different set of games. There might be a huge shift in focus, you know, which is what happened with volume, you know, when we got to volume 2 coming out of 1, we left behind Twisted Metal and Spawn and we got Spyro and Tomb Raider, you know, so hopefully there will be some more exciting developments, because at this point now like the PS1 is now like established, right? Let's see. Is there maybe... Okay, so this was released in 1999. So the PS4 or the PS1 has been out for 4 years now, or no. Yeah, it came out in 95. PS1 has been out for 4 years now. We have seen a bunch of games come out of it. We are probably starting to enter the era of like whispers about like the PS2 and such. Because the PS2 was released when? March 2000 in Japan. And then in America, it didn't come out until October 26th of the year 2000. So yeah, so we are, as far as Japan is concerned, we are 1 year away from essentially not the death of the PS1, but we are introducing the next game in the series of consoles. Unknowingly setting themselves up for having to keep the numbering. They didn't know it at the time. They didn't know it until the PS3 happened. When they hit PS3, it was just kind of like, okay, I think we just have to, I guess we're just doing this. And it was kind of like this fingers crossed kind of moment on what does the thing after the PS3 get called? And then they said PS4, and it was like, fuck it, you guys are in it now. You guys are actually in it. So from now on, every PlayStation must just be called the next number. I can't wait until we get up to the PS9, which of course, as we all know, is just going to be a little glass orb that projects an entire video game world to you. I'm assuming the ad that they made for that thing was accurate. So look forward to that. You think we're going to break it with the PS6? Not a chance. They are cowards. They are absolute cowards if they abandon it. Because look at what happened with the Xbox. What the fuck is the name of the most recent Xbox? Xbox One Series X? I'm gonna break the consoles. I mean, they kind of already did that with the PS3 in some respects. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows if there's ever going to be another console generation, you know? So nah, never mind. I was going to say something really dark, but you know, let's see if we can try to forget about all that for the next couple of hours here. All right. So let's do no more of this yapping bullshit, and let's get in to the funkiness of the 90s. And also, this is 99, right? So when you think of like 90s media, like obviously we've been seeing a lot of it, right? We've been seeing a lot of the Dutch angles. We've been seeing a lot of the hearing a lot of backbeat, you know, or you know, like we've been hearing all this, or excuse me, breakbeat. You know, we've been hearing all this stuff. We are now entering the era of the year that brought us The Matrix. We are entering the Edge era. We are getting into the era of where attitude meant like Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was kind of goofy era attitude. It, like things were like rad and cool and sick and stuff. Now we're getting into, actually, we are starting to take ourselves too seriously, and actually we are legitimately cool, not just misguided teenagers. So get ready for all self-awareness to go out the window as we dive headfirst into Volume 3, Issue 1 of the PlayStation Underground. Oh, wow, we're jumping right in. All right. Oh, we're getting spoilers? Oh, good. Siphon filter. Great. All right. Ooh, okay. We're going to look at Silent Hill. Cool. I'm a little upset that we're getting just like this, like, trailer for the disc instead of I was looking forward to some more shitty CG. Video games will never look more real. All right, we're gonna get some Legend of Legaia. Great. If you thought your RPGs would be better if you could dial a combo on them. It's 1999, so legally we are required to have wrestling coverage. Hell yeah! The Cool Moves team is back, and with Metal Gear. Great, I need those for when I go finish VR missions. Yeah, Legend of Legaia is kind of a... Legend of Legaia is, what if every character had Zell from Final Fantasy VIII's overdrive move. Hey, Jam Bro, how's it going, man? Welcome in. You're just in time for the beginning of this. Oh, good. Here's our CG. Okay, there goes the PlayStation truck. Sypro-mania hits Las Vegas, and it's right here in this living room, baby. You're goddamn right it does. Got the download station. Okay, we're gonna keep up on the Project Wormhole part of things. Some more Net Your Rose shit. The Pocket Alpha 3. Man, did that even come out? Code Archive, bulletins, alphas for Xena Warrior Princess. We are absolutely playing the alpha version of Xena. Are you kidding me? Gangway Monsters, I don't think is a game that came out. All right, behind the scenes of Legend of Legaia, some WCW bullshit. Oh, god damn it. I am Jambro, and how do? I am doing amazing right now, knowing that we're about to see Spyro in my hometown. Oh my God, I'm gonna see 90s Vegas. I can point out all the things that are different.
Life is a game, and nobody knows it better than this crowd. They're video game journalists and industry insiders.
Look at how small this room is!
In Las Vegas to celebrate PlayStation's 3rd birthday and the launch of Spyro the Dragon. In honor of Spyro the Dragon, they began the day on a scavenger hunt for a treasure hidden deep in the city of Las Vegas. Each team had its own van.
Is this the Hard Rock?
Who could figure out the clues, find the landmarks, and get back first to win the prize, a $300 Sony shopping spree.
I don't recognize the interior of this place. Oh no! The first villain of PlayStation Underground Volume 3.
I want everyone to know ahead of time the winner right here.
Like the different worlds in Spyro the Dragon, this adventure had it all. Money, fame,
okay, these guys are
thrills,
oh, these guys are all over the place.
And the chance to hit it big.
They hit downtown and the strip.
To hit it big.
Hey, they're leaving without us.
The chance to hit it big? By nightfall, it was party time.
This is good footage.
For the Spyro the Dragon development team, it was a sweet finish to 18 months of round-the-clock work days.
Oh no, this bright light is freaking me out. Because the last time I saw one of those, I was abducted by aliens.
Remember
Oh,
what I told you earlier
Mark
today?
Cerny. Oh,
There is no way that we lost the scavenger hunt. When they announce the winner, you're going to see this one walking up, taking the prize.
yeah, but we know what happened is that Tommy, didn't do any of the actual work and he just stole someone else's list of things that they found in the scavenger hunt.
Winning team with 810 points is the Magic Crafters. Team members
I'm sorry, did you say the Magic Crackers?
Aaron Mooney and Tommy Colorico.
For Sony Computer Entertainment America
Can't
and
believe it.
PlayStation, the party was a celebration of an amazing first 3 years.
Why does everyone look like the bully in a Disney original film?
With over 50 million consoles.
'Cause I
sold
told you, it's the
worldwide,
late
PlayStation
90s,
has
man.
become the leading brand in video game entertainment.
And to illustrate this
This is what every white guy with any shred of misplaced confidence looked like.
even further, since its introduction in 1995, a PlayStation has been sold once every 8 seconds.
Several speakers noted that Spyro the Dragon.
People are buying PlayStations at the same rate those humans die.
The surface of what's possible on the console. To see what's coming next from developers, just stay tuned to PlayStation Underground.
Child on the casino floor. You know what is hilarious about that? How little we learned. We didn't learn fucking anything about Spyro the Dragon. It was just, look at this money we spent for no reason. Like, it's so fun. This still happens. This still happens. Let's see, without breaking any NDA, I on an almost weekly basis have to look at someone else's photos of some dinner they went to in Prague or whatever, to go do whatever sales thing to go get our games put into their online casinos, right? Like, this shit still happens. Like, these meaningless, ridiculous money dumping expenditures when you could have. And what's so funny is, like, it's even less meaningful today. You can make the argument that back then getting all these people in the same room together was probably important, and making a trip out of it would have been like a fun idea or whatever. But the internet did exist. Emails did exist. Like, you could still spread information to more people than you ever could, even in the late 90s. But nowadays, when it's just like everything we do is online, fucking you guys are in my living room right now. Like, that is how unnecessary it is to waste money on these kinds of experiences. And it's so funny that we saw, I think, 13 combined seconds of any of these guys interacting with Spyro at all. The rest of it was just, we went on a fucking scavenger hunt in Las Vegas. The first person to collect 50 of those naked lady cards wins. All right, what's going on the Net Eurose side of things? Having money just puts you in a different bracket of misery. I mean, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Having money, you know, like the whole money can't buy you happiness thing is, we all know that that's actually bullshit. It can, it can certainly alleviate you of a lot of things that may make you miserable, but it cannot change you as like a core person, you know, like ultimately you are going to be who you are. Like there's years ago, there was like an Adam Sandler did a character bit on an SNL sketch that was like, it was like vacation packages to Italy or something. And one of the things that he says in there is my favorite line, and it stuck with me, of here are the things, here's a thing that we can offer you. Wonderful hikes across our entire countryside. Here's a thing that we can't do for you. Turn you into someone who likes hiking. If you were sad at home, you will be sad here. Like, you know, like ultimately you're just trying to fill the same hole with different crap. And there's my quote for history. When I die, when we do, you know how at the end of every year, Twitch does the streamers we lost this year presentation? When they get to me, please, black and white photo with, we're all just trying to fill this, we're all just trying to fill the same hole with different crap. 2025. Anyway, let's learn about enemies and AI in Project Wormhole.
Welcome to part 4 of Project Wormhole. Watch out, because in this issue, we'll add some intelligent enemies to the tunnel. We'll make some that fly down the center of the tunnel and try to ram your ship. The tricky part is that they need to avoid running into each other and the other obstacles in the tunnel at the same time. To accomplish this, the artificial intelligence, or AI, responsible for driving the enemy craft needs to try to estimate where your ship is going to be and plot an intercept course. To do this, the AI draws an imaginary line from where it is to where you are going to be. It adjusts this line to avoid any obstacles in the way and then tries to steer itself onto the line. With all of these enemy ships trying to hunt you down, things are going to get pretty tough in there. So to be fair, we will finally be adding some guns to your ship. The first weapons we'll add will probably be some tunnel-following missiles. You can fire these and they will travel along the tunnel without any guidance until they run into something.
Man, AI sounds cool. I sure hope that it keeps developing and just gets bigger and bigger and crazier and can do more things. All right, let's play it. Okay, so this is what this game looks like now. I feel it actually looks worse than the last time we checked in with it. Oh, and they've like changed the controls on it now. So now you like pendulum. So this is me like holding the left button, and then when you let go, it drops back down to ooh. Uh-oh. Guys, I think Project Wormhole might have lost its way. I think Project Wormhole might have seen that N2O not only existed, but fully released by the time they were in the middle of developing this, and fully did their idea completely realized. I didn't see the last ones, but I'm certainly repulsed. Yeah, they man, they this is not doing a great job at selling the core concept. Oh God. Oh, the way this camera moves around. What's so funny is that this also looks nothing like the the previs CG they were showing us earlier looked like. Like the only thing that it has in common with any of that earlier CG is that it takes place in a tube. Okay. I think we're good. What happens in next issue, huh?
Hundreds of you have sent in suggestions for Wormhole, and we're incredibly impressed. This was going to be the last installment on making the game, but there's so much interest we've decided to make it an ongoing series.
Oh,
Next
good.
issue, we'll be adding some flashy explosions and other special effects, polishing up the look. We'll also add some new weapons and enemies, so keep the ideas coming. You can see a beginning selection of people's ideas for Wormhole by visiting www.playstation.com and choosing PlayStation Underground online. Post your own ideas there or mail them to us at this address. Wormhole is a team effort. Let us know what you think.
We're really going to tighten up the graphics on level 3. All submissions become the exclusive property of SEEA and will not be returned. Submissions may be modified or altered as necessary for inclusion in the Wormhole project. By sending in your suggestion, you acknowledge and agree that you shall not be entitled to any compensation or credit in connection with the SEEA's use or non-use of a submission. By sending in your submission, you just pass New Jersey and Hawaii. All right. Well, I'm okay if we never see another Project Wormhole thing. I mean, these came out every 3 months. The fact that, listen, making video games takes a very long time, but that did not look like a 3-month leap from the last time we looked at it. God, the Pocket. I don't really have a memory of this thing. I see a screenshot of this.
Hi, my name is Robert Johnson. I am the
and I think of the
Marketing Manager here at
Dreamcast.
Capcom Entertainment, and I'm here to show you today the Pocket Alpha 3 game for the new Sony Pocket Station. I'm going to show you how the Japanese version works of the Pocket Alpha 3 game.
Okay, Pocket Station sounds familiar.
Basically, what the PDA does is it is a little mini memory card peripheral that plugs right into your PlayStation and allows you to download the characters from your original Alpha 3 game onto the Pocket Alpha 3 game in order to build up the characters while you're on the road. And then once you have them built up, you can easily upload them back to the PlayStation in order to play those edited characters. Another
Did this
cool
come
feature about
out?
Pocket Alpha 3 is that you can fight against your friends. Just take it around, point it at your friends, and use the infrared communication device at the top here to play against your friends anywhere.
It's released in Japan. Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't recognize it. It was released in Japan in '99. A release in Europe and North America was planned but ultimately canceled. Pocket Station shows similarities with Sega's VMU for the Dreamcast. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it seems like... I wonder... Wikipedia says shared similarities with the VMU. I wonder if any of this work ended up going into the VMU? Because that basically was how the VMU worked, is that you could like transfer your saves around and there were kind of like, yeah, there was like a virtual pet game and stuff like that. Also, this music, if you've played Killer 7, I know one of you haven't, but if you played Killer 7, this music is extremely reminiscent of the music that plays every time you're in like the hallway run up to the boss room of each level. It has a very similar feel. All right, let's skip over the bulletins. Let's go to the alphas and imports. Let's find out what the hell Gangway Monsters is. I don't think that this came out. It doesn't sound like a title I'm familiar with. Some of you have asked for more details, and we're happy to oblige. X to enter the game, start to start, square to exit. Okay. Gangway Monsters is about a sport called Manchester, where you grow your own creatures and tune the spinning tops they ride, called Bagomas. This is why I don't watch anime. Hit the other team's Bagomas effectively and your gauge builds. Am I having a fucking stroke? When it's full, use the special attack button to see what each monster can do. In the complete game, you collect money to upgrade your Bagomas. Here's a taste, let the battle begin. I don't think this game came out. Stop trying to summon demons in my chat. Oh, an ancient tablet from space coming to upset the natural order of things on Earth. Was it a minion? Oh God. Oh, here comes not quite Gex, not quite Croc. Oh, what a good creature design. It's Beyblades with monsters. You know, usually when you do that like quick cut back and forth thing, it's supposed to end in a clash. That was... Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden fucking... Oh, what is... It's a PS... Is it Okagi? It's like a PS2... I think like an action RPG game where like there's like shadow monsters, like all like the main monsters are shadow. Isn't that already Beyblade? Do Beyblades have monsters riding on top of them? I don't fucking know. New game. If this game came out, this must be a Japan exclusive. Young master, wake up please now. Miss Claire is ready to pick you up. What? Today's Sunday, isn't it? Leave me alone in my bed. Oh, what are you saying, young master? Today is the day of your long-awaited debut to the Manchester League. Sounds like somebody hasn't watched the show. Yeah, you want to go ahead and recommend fucking the Beyblades anime to me right now? Monster? Edward? Did you say Manchester? Oh, that's right. I'm making my debut at the Manchester League today. Yes, precisely. So please get out from bed and dress yourself, young master. Don't call me young master anymore, please. I'm not a kid anymore. Would you please call me by my name? Treat me as a grown-up from today. Whoop. And then we slam headfirst into the unlocalized text. We're just gonna go with the default. Yes, and please make haste. No, Mr. Mr. Protagonist. Okay, gotcha. Well, you always have your hands full. But I understand. Looks like you couldn't sleep last night in excitement for today is the day you finally joined the Manchester League. Remember 2 seconds ago when we established what's happening? Everything began that day. The day the stone plate fell from the sky. And then it plays the whole fucking intro movie again. Oh, okay, it literally is. Okay, good. How long ago was that? The day when the mysterious stone plate from outer space fell into the South Pole. The genius Dr. Spindle, oh, he gets to have an English name, finally unraveled the mysterious message on the stone plate, which was discovered to be the rules to a quite new sports game, Manchester. Beyblades came from space! Much to the whole world's surprise. Well, with regard to Manchester, first of all, we have to create our own customized monster. Here are 7 colored cos balls, which are the genes of the monsters. And you may choose any 3 from the 7 balls and then put the balls into the special genetic machine. Pushuki! Pushuki! The top that's hard to spin. Pushuki, Pushuki, which will conjure the 3 genes into your very own monster. And finally, you can have your monster ride a spinning battle vehicle, Bagoma, and have him fight the other monsters. Okay, so this was like translated 7 times over, I feel. None of these words make any sense. Consequently, this new game, Manchester, which came from outer space, spread to the whole world. Who was responsible for this fucking dialogue? Why are sentences like directly repeating the previous? Oh. Then the Manchester League was established to unify the rules, which enabled people to play the game within universal standards. Everyone loves a good rule set that applies to all people equally. The players in the Manchester League are called monster owners and are much respected. Mr. Fox, Mr. Fox, your brother, was one of the most skilled monster owners and a famous superstar. Mr. You love him very much, and he was very proud of him. Mr. Fox, also known as Blitz Fox, had won all matches at the league since his debut and became a megastar, and was to conquer his final match for the crown of world champion. Don't mind me, just going to continue this run-on sentence for the next 18 lines. And then suddenly, actually, I'm going to start the next sentence with "and." He disappeared one day without any word or clue, which is still unbelievable. Stupendous. Oh, fucking shoot me. Your game character was left in shock when Mr. Fox suddenly disappeared. He left these 4 monsters behind, and the poor monsters, without their beloved master and a reason to live, had slowly began losing their powers. One of them took himself out in the tool shed. Oh, good. Did this just freeze? Are we not even gonna get to play the game? Fully frozen. Fully frozen. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? For as stupid as this is, I do want to see it. Oh, why don't I have the option to open this in the other? Oh God, what happened? Okay, stand by. I'm going to open this in a different emulator here. One moment. Because I need to see the game. I need to see the part where it turns into a game. Oh, I guess I need to. Okay, yeah, I need to set the. Yeah, I don't have it set as an alternate emulator for the demo disc because it's technically a different category of video game. Don't mind me. This is me saying troubleshooting information out loud so I don't forget it later. Okay, where are you hiding? Let's see, this is called 3.1. Now this thing is freaking out when it's trying to do the search function. Why, why is that happening? Oh my God. Sorry, guys. This is... Oh, because I'm typing in the wrong... There we go. Okay. Disc 1. Bazinga. Okay. Oh, I hope this loads. There we go. Okay. Let's get back into this. We'll speed through all of this dialogue. Figure out what the hell's going on here. Probably should read the dialogue. Yeah, let me get right on that. Let me give you completely unique voices for all of them too. It would appear that this did not have an American release, which is not surprising in the least. All right, skippy. Oh, can we just skip all of it? Here we go. Okay. Here's your dumbass. Make a name for him. Well, you know, give me the... Oh, God. Yeah, we'll go with that. And this one. Yep. And this one. The Cobra without a face. Oh my God. Yeah, name all your NFTs. Here we go. Let's just go. I'm guessing this is level 1. Stage 1, Sky Stadium.
Welcome to the Sky Stadium. I shall show you around the facilities and explain the rules of the game. This is your first visit, isn't it? Please listen carefully to my quick summary of the rules. The monsters can be recharged with their fighting energy by hitting their bagomas with others. I already forgot that they were called fucking bagomas. Once a monster's fighting energy is fully recharged, then it can attack its opponents only once. The faster the bagona, the more energy is restored. Hitting an opponent from behind can be very effective, so try to position yourself behind your opponents. And never forget to use your brakes. By using the brake button effectively, you can move your bagona with more ease. There are many more tactics, which you should find on your own. Okay, good luck. Okay, bye.
Yep. Just default. Oh. Yeah, let's fight this zaddy. Why would they stop translating there, man? This thing is kind of a mess. All right, let's play this. Let's play as a stupid symbol head monster. Oh, okay. We can select our favorites. All right, so we'll do the Venus flytrap. We'll do Sand Shrew and Plants vs Zombies. Yep, this is definitely the team that I want. Oh my. This is just Spice World all over again. Battle first. Child level 1. I think this is just like the battle ready screen. Okay, this now looks like a video game, finally. Go! Okay. So... I forgot. If you press square, it exits the game. So I guess we're done. If you guys want more of that game, go fucking look it up yourselves. I don't need any more of that. All that happened was I slowly came to a stop. No button did anything. And then as soon as I pressed square, because you know, it's a video game, so you want to see what all the buttons do, it quit. It just cut to black. So there's your Gangway Monsters experience. I'm assuming that's exactly how it released in Japan. All right, show me the alpha for a good video game, of course, Xena Warrior Princess. Is this going to be a playable demo or just some making of shit? Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll take making of.
Xena was we wanted to do something that mimicked the show, where it was a hardcore action beat 'em up game that also had elements of puzzle solving and some strategy elements. There's over 20 different levels, Hades, the Amazon jungle.
10 of them are good.
One-on-one fighting.
3 of them are okay. 2 of them are absolute garbage.
Her famed chakra, like a flying guillotine that she can throw. She can stomp on the other player's face.
Whoa, I don't remember a first-person camera for that attack.
If the hostage is killed, she will not be able to progress to the next level.
Yeah, you have to protect him for all of 26 seconds. Is that the whole thing? Is that the whole preview? Guys, what's going on with the PlayStation Underground Volume 3? You're kind of a bust. All right, let's look at fucking whatever's going on for Street Fighter Alpha 3, a literal alpha now.
Today we're going to talk about Street Fighter Alpha 3.
A Street Fighter game that people
Street Fighter
like?
Alpha 3 is a perfect
I
arcade
think.
translation. There's no missing animations, the speed is flawless, and you can adjust the speed as well. The PlayStation version sees a return.
You like the music?
Of
I feel like Alpha. I feel like the like Alpha 3 is generally well regarded.
Some real popular secret hidden characters, as well as some brand new hidden characters.
You know, we've established I don't really know shit about Street Fighter outside of like, you know, 2 and then Marvel vs. Capcom. Most of my Street Fighter experiences in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
PlayStation only.
Oh, hang on. I spotted the claw for Mega Man. Enjoy this coming this April sign as I duck under my table to get this. Recovered. This is the only thing that's holding Mega Man up. Which, again, the visual metaphor is just off the charts tonight. Okay. Okay, we have some behind the scenes stuff. What did we skip over? I've already forgotten what we skipped. Oh, we skipped over bulletins. Yeah, we'll do the bulletins last, because the bulletins tend to just kind of be all the same thing over and over again. Let's get some behind the scenes of Legend of Legaia. This actually might be kind of cool. That's a fun menu transition. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily like, watch this last 1 minute. Yeah, if we're lucky. Yeah, and then the WCW will be like a 10-minute long fucking docu-series. I'm not saying like I'm necessarily like a fan of this game, but in terms of like art, like JRPGs that would probably hold my attention a little bit longer than most, like this is kind of up there.
The oldest stories in almost any culture are about heroes. For thousands of years, heroic tales have inspired people and taught them how to face danger.
Precisely, Bono.
Now, instead of just listening to a hero's tale, you can live it. Video game technology lets you face a hero's challenges blow by blow. That's what a new role-playing game is all about, called The Legend of Legaia, from the producer of Wild Arms. It brings new elements to the RPG genre.
I don't even know if any of that CG is in the final
play the part of
game.
Vaughn, a young villager
This is
in
the
a
actual
world
art
that's been
style.
choked by a mysterious mist, bringing madness and death to all it touches. Creatures called the Saru once lived alongside people and helped them. Now the mist has transformed the Saru into deadly enemies.
Look at that SCP shit. Played this game as a kid, but just rented it.
Vaughn discovers how to lift some of the mist. Your mission is to guide him as he fights to save his land.
This is definitely one of those, like, I played it like a
One
few.
innovative feature of this RPG is that it's
like,
among the first to have a complete.
I didn't touch this until I got to, you know, like emulation time.
Compared to other role-playing games, it's quite possible that we have been able to achieve twice the amount of polygons on screen.
Gotta talk about that polygon
In
count.
this game, we studied films to capture good tempo and flow, and good camera work. I poured my heart and soul into development. Each polygonal character is a reflection of our love for this game and our work.
These are some concepts for my VTuber.
Another innovation in Legend of Legaia is the style of combat.
So, in a way, it's kind of the suit, like the precursor to Final Fantasy XIII's battle system, in that you kind of like stack their modes, like you like stack the moves together. You're not doing like all the paradigm shifts things, like it's not a rhythm game like 13 is, but like that is kind of like the battle system, is that you are basically putting up queues of moves to do based on the amount of like action points or whatever you have.
Personally, I really like fighting games and wanted to incorporate the exhilaration of a fighting game into a role-playing game.
Characters are full-size with rich animation.
Oh, the characters in this game full
That
size?
gives The Legend of Legaia the
Cool.
atmosphere and feel of a real fighting game. And with the DualShock analog controller, you're experiencing the vibrations of every hit.
Hell yeah.
Characters can discover and take on new combo moves. They'll need them later.
Yeah, so I think you're like you're kind of like you're actively punching in like these combo moves.
Enemies have a wide variety of attacks so the players won't get bored. In the latter part of the game, they get even more spectacular, and I think it's something players can look forward to.
They're not doing a great job of explaining how the battle system actually works, so I'm a little lost on and hazy on the details myself.
Producer
Corner combo
Takahiro
characters.
Kaneko designed Legend of Legaia with a bigger, real-world challenge in mind.
The Saru represent science and technology. They are very advantageous things to humans, but we shouldn't rely too much on them and forget about basic human strength or let trust and basic human relationships break down. Without being
Boy, do I
preachy,
have some
we
bad
want to
news
show
for you,
that
my
there's
man.
Something that each person creates for themselves.
According to Kaneko-san, a good game is a fantasy world that strengthens a player's ability to choose his or her own future in the real world.
Whether it be a book or a comic, when growing up we all have places to escape to where we can forget about our daily troubles. And through the trials and tribulations of those fantasy worlds, we find solutions and hope for our daily lives.
God damn, dude. We gotta.
To be a successful fantasy world, an RPG needs a dark side that's evil, yet believable,
Okay,
and ultimately
yeah.
defeatable.
Let's get back into the fun stuff. This is.
It's important for me to work with planners and designers who can create them.
Hitting a little too close to home in this moment. Yeah,
As the condition
yeah.
of
I
our
want to see this
real-world
guy's
worsens,
U-Villa.
Can we return to the strengths within us to save ourselves? That's the hero's challenge waiting for you in this game.
Now with twice the polygons. Yeah, this is a game that I think would be like a fun one to check out on stream sometime, because it is, like I said, like it goes for something very different from what a lot of JRPGs were doing at the time. I don't believe I put this on the backlog. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't introduced into this game. Like I said, I was already fucking around with emulators and shit like that by the time I even knew this game existed. Rated pretty highly on Backlogged, sitting at a 3.8. You know, obviously not that that's a great thing to go off. I mean, fucking no one can stop Mr. Domino had... Let's see, what is the average score for that game? 3.4, and I rated it a 1 star to help balance out the universe. So, you know, Legend of the Guy, it might be garbage. All right, let's look at some fucking old, now dead wrestlers. Please, God, don't let there be footage of someone who has turned out to be like a real piece of shit.
Wrestling's a great thing to watch when you want to get out of reality and just turn on the TV and, you know, watch.
For as much as you look like a wrestling fan, parentheses, derogatory, how fucking dare you, you sure went the opposite way. Well, so... I had my time with wrestling. I'll say that. I had my time with it. I had my time with it, honestly, like around this time. Not so much the WCW, but I did get into SmackDown. In as much as it was one of those things where, like, if I had grown up in a house where we had cable, I never would have watched wrestling at all. There would have been other things for me to have watched. However, when it came time for what am I going to watch before Conan O'Brien comes on, that like SmackDown and Raw became that. And even then I would watch SmackDown and then like change the channel to fucking Frasier because I found I liked the talent on SmackDown more than I liked Raw, which I think even at the time was opposite to what the popular take was. Because SmackDown is where a lot of like the gimmicky guys were, you know, that's where like Rey Mysterio and Scotty 2 Hotty and these like really like fucking like goofball idiot types were. And that's my jam. I like wrestling when it is at its most stupid and fun. Wrestling is always stupid, always. When it is having fun with it and being goofy, I find that really entertaining. But that lasted until, I don't know, it was basically only like a couple years in high school, maybe even coming out of high school. Well, this was 99. So maybe I wasn't into it quite yet. I wasn't watching it quite yet. But then years went by, and then I had another kind of like brief stint with it in like the 2010s ish, because the guys that I was in, my improv friends were still following it pretty closely. And so there was a period of maybe like 2 or 3 years where I was also back in it again, like watching it from like a kind of like removed sort of thing. Wrestling is just the red-pilled version of being a theater kid. That is one of the single most accurate statements I have ever heard. You should get that fucking framed, man.
Watch some of the crazy drama that goes on, and we're bringing that to you in the game.
The things that I'm proud about WCW and WWE are the details. The way the characters,
oh my God, it's so real. That's so fucking real.
It really brings the whole experience.
It's theater for theater kids who couldn't do theater. Like, that's what it is. It's theater for the kids who thought, forgive the expression, it's theater for the kids who thought theater was gay. You know, like it's that. Like, that is who it appeals to.
Of, you know, being at a wrestling event into your living room.
What the fuck happened to Goldberg? Is he still even around? He retired, didn't he?
You and your buddy can go at it and just pound each other all day.
Is he doing commercials for foot
take out your
cream or something by
frustrations,
now?
And I think that's important in video games.
I know Booker T still shows up every now and again.
Living and not get thrown in jail. That has to be one of the best, my most favorite thing about being a wrestler for sure.
Oh boy, WCW and NWO Thunder.
And that remained true for all wrestlers in perpetuity.
Please don't ever accuse me of that. I understand right now, back in the locker room area here at the Ice Palace in Tampa, Florida, we have a couple of members of the NWO, Vincent and the Giant. And what are we catching them in the heat of battle? Please.
How I get out of this?
You just like real life. I'm killing you.
Oh my God!
For the gamers that have played WCW Nitro
Big
on the
Show before he
PlayStation,
was Big Show.
Thunder is definitely an upgrade in terms of the speed of the gameplay. It's a lot
Oh
faster
man,
than
Sting.
Nitro's engine was. There's more moves per character. There's more characters. They've all been updated.
Pick me, or I'll stick your head through the mat. Can you dig it, sucker? The torture is gonna last
Boo!
longer. Walk of shame.
Rest in piss, you piece of shit.
There's additional modes. There's the ability to take a weapon and bring it into the ring and use it against your opponent, as fans see on television. Nitro, awesome game. I mean, just phenomenal for its time. But Thunder is just night and day compared to it.
It's funny. I actually played Nitro. I played Nitro at a schoolmate's house once because I remember those like wrestler intros on the character select screen.
Throw them into the side of the cage and knock them out. And
Hey, guess what? Wrestling video games have always sucked. They've always been bad. They feel awful to control.
There's just a lot that Thunder offers to the WCW hardcore fan. There's a Battle Royal mode.
Battle Royal is brutal because you gotta have eyes in the back of your head.
We didn't use motion capture. Basically, every
And that'll be obvious when you play the game.
video image. If you motion capture
Oh God! Oh no! I just saw which names were on the screen.
When you're making a wrestling game, you have to make it look good in the game. We had this backbreaking move, so we took an apple and kind of crunched on an apple for a while, and we thought it was funny, so we left it in the game.
That's sweet.
Look at that bowl cut kid being hovered over by Hulk Hogan. What a fucking time capsule of shit.
The second best thing is to bring the moves, get in there with a
Oh my God.
wrestler, say a Saturn or a Goldberg, and really get to know that character. We also include a list of moves in the instruction manual so that the gamer who maybe isn't a wrestling fanatic.
Yeah, this is where these guys would normally play their PlayStation on a fucking bucket. Yeah, on a fucking steel chair in the middle of a goddamn parking garage. They're in like the back of a warehouse.
The tips.
Mean Gene back here for PlayStation Underground. I understand that there may be a major upset in the making.
Should it surprise me that you never watched wrestling? No, it doesn't surprise me in the least. No, not at all.
Okay, I won't do it no more.
The thing is, what was crazy though, and it's less the case now. Oh!
What an attitude.
It was a shoot, guys. It was a shoot.
Thunder really brings the whole experience of, being
All of that was in kayfabe. Don't worry about it. He didn't really mean it.
Monday Nitro event or Thursday Thunder event into your living room.
That's how you know I fucking watched it, because I do know enough of the terminology. And then they make him clean him up because he can't be he can't be full heel. Gotta have a little bit of face in there. Man. What I was gonna say is, like, it doesn't really matter if you watched it or not back in the day, because it's so strange. It was so ingrained in pop culture It was absolutely everywhere. It was ubiquitous. Like no one, it's funny. I started laughing when they showed Sting because even if you didn't watch wrestling, you knew who the fuck Sting was for some reason. For some reason, everyone just knew who Sting was. Obviously, you knew who Hulk Hogan was because he goes all the way back to, you know, WWF. Like it was impossible not to know like who he was. But nowadays, you know, it's funny because it has become so legitimized over time as this thing that kind of just like stands on its own and is its own product, and it has like its own dedicated fan base and everything, to where now it just kind of operates all in its own sphere and you don't really have to engage with it. The only times that you do is if you go see a Marvel movie. You know, like you'll and again, it's like everyone knows John Cena, right? You know, everyone's mom knows who John Cena is. But most people aren't gonna know who fucking, I don't know, Bailey is. You know, they're not gonna know who. I can't even think, like, that's how long it's been since I've even watched this. You know, most people don't know who the fuck Roman Reigns is. You know, like there's not, everyone hasn't seen, well, yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, no, everyone knows him. No one's ever like seen him, but everybody knows him. Why would I know these references? I'm not talking to you exclusively, man. There are other people here. But I think that's the difference is that nowadays there are, it is a lot harder for it. Ironically enough, I feel like it is harder for people to kind of know a lot about who these wrestling talents are until something big and crazy happens, you know, and it has to be like a John Cena. It has to be, you know, one of these guys who do something that grows out of the fame of just being a wrestler, right? They need to make some sort of move. Like, how many people had no idea who Batista was until Guardians of the Galaxy came out, right? Like, I guarantee you there were lots of people who were just kind of like, wow, that Drax character is really funny. I wonder who that is. You know, most people knew him, you know, people who followed wrestling knew him as Batista. They did not know him as his full Christian name outside of that circle. No one did, you know, so it's just kind of, it is funny how times have kind of changed with that, where now the only people, it feels like the only ones that people do still reference are the ones that people were referencing like 20, 30 years ago. You know, there has not been like the next like breakthrough WWE superstar that has become like a household name, not in the same way that happened in the last, you know, more than a decade ago. All right, we have reached pretty much the end of this. We can look at the bulletins and see if there's anything new in here, but it's usually a lot of nonsense. If anything, some MMA stars break out every once in a while. Kind of, yeah. You have a few here and there. Of course, MMA is just like wrestling, where the ones who get really big all of a sudden are also like huge pieces of shit. I feel like at this point, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop on Cena. You know, like it feels like that would be a thing that would happen. I think the only thing that works in his favor is that he was kind of like from the jump doing a lot of like charity stuff and a lot of like, you know, like kid friendlier things and everything. So he's probably going to be fine, but it feels like it definitely feels like that is always, it's like a straight fucking line on the career trajectory of a lot of these people. Okay, we got some hidden codes, threads, and accessories. Not a whole lot of interesting stuff in here. Let's see if there's anything new in the threads. This might be the same commercial that they did before. Yeah, it's gonna be the dancing shirts. Okay, yeah. This stuff. I said it before, I'll say it again. Wouldn't hate having that Parappa beanie. Wouldn't hate it. Wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to me. Okay, we have seen this before. And they I love that they never once changed this copy. Now you can really kick butt knowing yours is well covered. They were so proud of that. All right, what's in the Speak Your Mind section? If you haven't understood this by week 4, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I imagine anyone who's been following this journey just knows that if we're looking at anything that was produced in the 90s, like, they did not give a shit about flashing lights. The kids in Japan did not have seizures yet from watching fucking Pokemon. Like that would take a few years for that news to reach us. God, man, all these are always the fucking same thing. You should have a place called Skits where you can perform skits. Have comic strips with jokes. Have comic strips with jokes and stories about characters. David S is pitching Penny Arcade right here. I think you should put more. Just put more. It's always just like put more stuff, put more things. I'm submitting 3 wormhole ideas. Keep up the good work on the magazine. The wormhole project is a great idea for teaching a world of game fanatics more about what goes on before they get their long-awaited game. Yep, and it definitely works just like this. All right. I think we're good here. So let's let's see what hidden shit is on here. Oh no. Apparently on disc 2 there is a Hollywood Hogan movie. I'm tempted, well, he's dead now, so maybe who gives a fuck. I'm tempted to skip it. However, we can see pre-Big Show play with a DualShock controller. Just more wrestling. Just more fucking wrestling. God. God. I guess there's so many angles to show a controller from. He literally just broke it. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. We heard it snap. Oh, this sucks. Look at that lens flare. Someone has a free copy of Photoshop 3. Well, that was worth it. You guys want some codes for Tomb Raider 3? There you go. If that didn't sell you a controller, I don't know what could. Yeah. Well, and what's funny is I've talked before about how I, as a kid, I thought that the idea of the DualShock was stupid. Why would anyone ever need 2 analog sticks? Like, that's dumb. Like, the D-pad works perfectly. You never need anything other than that. If I had seen that ad, it would have just, like, further confirmed my belief that that thing was stupid and pointless. You have 2 sticks that a wrestler has a harder time breaking. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's see what's going on disc 2. Again, like the second disc was always like just like the demos, which we have skipped most of those. But at the very least we can see if there's anything cool on here that's worth checking out. I doubt it, but we can see. I'm not gonna play the Hulk Hogan video. Like, fuck it. Like, even in death, I do not want to platform that man. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so we have demos for Cool Borders 2, Kart World Series, Jet Moto 2, and Fighting for... Oh, okay, it keeps going. Croc, Jersey Devil, Raystorm. I feel like we have a couple repeats. We've definitely seen coverage of Cool Borders 2 for sure. But I'm almost positive that there was a demo for Raystorm on the previous... Ooh, that is a bummer. Okay, but we got some videos to watch. So let's check out some of these trailers for these other games. These are at least worth checking out. Let's see how they advertise Tomb Raider 2. It's a little bit better than the first one, but it's really not. This is a non-interactive demo. What does that mean? Does that mean it's going to be like in-engine? It's not video? Is this thing just going to like play itself? This is a good screen to sell your game. Laura standing in fucking just a mess. It is. It's like it's a tech demo. Ooh, interesting. Honestly, you know what? This is actually really cool. Rather than having some grainy ass low res bullshit JPEG video, just run like essentially your system benchmark test so that you can see the game, like how the game runs in real time. I actually like that idea. That's really neat. Credit where it's due. They did something cool with this. It's just a shame that it's for Tomb Raider. Use these when you win on the title screen, so might as well just put that in. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, it totally makes sense. Some of the ones for Soul Calibur 2, Soul Calibur. I'm realizing. Love the concrete brutalist look of the scene. I think that you are in a capsized ship. Yeah, you're like underwater. Yeah. There's a steering wheel. Yeah, you are in an underwater shipwreck. Like I've said before about like the Tomb Raider games, like they are visually impressive in parts, not all of it, but in parts. I do think that Laura's, like the physics on her ponytail are genuinely really impressive, especially for the time. I don't remember this action cam that you could get. This is basically Man of Medan. It's so funny. I didn't realize until just now. Games don't really have demo modes anymore. They really don't. Games will just let you sit on the title screen for eternity. Like, I can't think of the last time a game like faded to black, loaded in a demo gameplay, and then you had to like exit your way out of that to get back to the main menu. That's kind of crazy, and I feel like that's been the case for actually a lot longer than I initially thought. Fighting games still have CPUs fight each other. I guess in fighting games that makes sense. I guess it just doesn't make sense for most other games to have it anymore. Way more common than other genres. Yeah. Yeah, you don't see Balatro start playing itself, do you? All right, sports feature. Give me the ping pong balls, baby.
There's something new coming down in the 98 lineup of sports titles from the PlayStation Athletic Department.
No, there's not!
It's a whole new level of graphics and gameplay.
They're
never
all the
before seen on
same.
PlayStation or any other video
They changed the
game
number
system.
of the year.
What are the games like? Who's creating them? We're taking you inside.
Oh, this
to
is the
find
same.
out.
Oh,
the
is
first thing
this
you notice is that the biggest influence on the games are the pros themselves. They're kept pretty busy in the motion captures.
This sucks. This issue sucks.
We get a guy like a Chad Brown, a Lamont Warren, a Jerome Bettis, a Steve Bono, a Tim Brown. We get them down here and we pick their
How did they? They're doing the opposite of what I anticipated, where I thought we're so late into the PS1's
you won't find in other people's games.
life cycle that I thought that there would have been a shit ton of new stuff to talk about.
Department is the sports expertise of the developers themselves.
We're all sports fanatics.
But there's crazy-eyed Craig. Like,
putting a sports game
why are we
together.
putting all the same
players or ex-pro players actually develop the games?
That is a bummer.
Developer for MLB 98.
That is a fucking bummer.
Twins, Chris Cutliff, Kelly Ryan, and myself.
I mean, yeah, fuck it. Like, let's skip this. Okay, we have not seen a video for Apocalypse, so at least we know that this will be different.
Welcome to Apocalypse, a hot new game from Activision that is the first to texture map a real person's face onto a CG model's body.
Welcome to paradise, kid.
And that face belongs to action movie star Bruce Willis.
Time to get jacked up for Armageddon.
Bruce Willis stars as Trey Kincaid, your virtual partner in the Apocalypse adventure. Motion capture technology was used to fully integrate Bruce into the game. Apocalypse is set in a dark and violent future where science and religion are competing forces of society.
You can run, but you can't hide.
If I remember correctly, at some point during this game's development, they like lost the rights to Bruce Willis or something. I think that like changed the character's I might be getting that wrong. I might be getting this completely wrong, but I feel like there was something. Thank God there's a Wikipedia page for this. The game was demonstrated at the June 1997 E3 with Willis present to help promote it. At this time, the AI-controlled partner mechanic was still in place. Okay, yeah. So there used to be like a buddy, like a computer-controlled partner. The game was set to release in September, but the game had been delayed to a later release date of November. While the game originally started off as an internal project for Activision, the almost bankrupt Neversoft picked it up in '98 and used a retooled version of the game engine for the aborted project Big Guns. Okay, so it was reworked by Neversoft. It actually runs off the Tony Hawk Pro Skater engine, apparently. Even though Neversoft continued to develop and evolve the engine primarily to suit the needs of the Tony Hawk series, it was also put to use. Okay, yeah, of course. I knew that they used the same engine for the Spider-Man games. That much I knew. Okay, I must be misremembering. Oh, okay, hang on. I should have just started reading from the beginning. I'm sorry. Initially, the player character was a mercenary accompanied by an AI-controlled partner, Trey Kincaid, in an effort to create the video game equivalent of a buddy film. Activision later signed a multi-million-dollar deal for Bruce Willis to provide Trey Kincaid's voice and likeness using cyber scanning and motion capture. Someone needs to update this fucking Wikipedia. Cyber scanning is not a thing anybody says. Some fucking Total Recall shit. Trey Kincaid's role was eventually changed to be that of the main playable character, thus reducing the necessity for him to have as much spoken dialogue as was originally intended, as the scope of Bruce Willis's involvement decreased as development went on. Okay. In the finished game, Willis's vocal contributions are limited mostly to the occasional one-liner and a few brief lines of dialogue in the story scenes. Okay, all right. So I got it a little mixed up. It was not that they lost the rights to his likeness. This is that they shifted him to be the main playable character, and then he got busy.
False prophet called the Reverend has called up the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: death, war, beast, and plague, played by the rock singer Poe. These
Yeah,
4
exactly. He would
forces
have been
of destruction
chiming in
roam the earth
constantly.
in human disguise and await a signal to obliterate humanity altogether. Your job is to keep this from happening, and your #1 asset is Trey Kincaid. Of course, saving the world has never been an easy job. In order to make you feel completely absorbed into the world of Apocalypse, new techniques were used to heighten the game-playing experience. By taking a motion capture approach,
This time we
Bruce's
put the
actions
ping
were
pong
digitized
balls on a
and could be
CPAP
manipulated
harness.
for a variety of moves. Dynamic or intelligent camera technology adjusts the camera to the best angle for the current play. Bruce's input in every step of the process has also added a considerable
He
amount
just
of
he just starts throwing up everywhere. Why is that fucking painting in this motion capture studio? Who the fuck went to the pick and save and got this painting of 2 ladies in a flower field going shopping? Bruce Willis shooting a shotgun in front of that artwork is so good.
Was to make sure the shooting worked within each scene. You can see exactly how all this attention to detail paid off.
I love that they keep intercutting it with this bullshit CG.
One thing is for certain. Enter the world of Apocalypse and you'll never want to leave.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, stop flashing storyboards at me. I can't take it in.
Apocalypse by Activision.
And then we're not going to show the animated version of that, I guess. All right, let's see if this video is different. I imagine we've probably seen this one before too, but oh no, okay, this is actually okay. Great, good. Thank God there is some new stuff on here. Jesus Christ. Why did they interview him inside the spaceship from Arrival?
The most significant difference to us was capacity. Before, we were given restrictions in capacity, so we had to create one basic model and fiddle around with it, making players believe there were variations. It was a good way to become resourceful in limited circumstances. But on the CD-ROM, that restriction was completely taken away, and we didn't have to worry about various ways of modifying one basic model. If we needed 100 models, we could create each of them from scratch.
Yeah, there was no limitation. That's why this game released on 4
RPG
discs.
Is to imitate the real world,
Surrounded
and
by
create
the
a
live
fictional
stream.
world within the game. We have followed that concept in previous versions of this series, but technically, we had to use one basic model in different ways, or use a world symbolized specifically for game use. Now it is much easier for us to achieve our original goal. We can now express more of the real world in the game.
There he is.
The number of simultaneous
There's
music
the
output
guy.
channels used to be 8 in the Super NES. Now it's 24. We leave 8 of them open for sound effects, so we have 16 to use for the actual music. That adds a lot of richness to the music. For example, when you hit the piano keys with both of your hands, you get 10 notes at once, and you won't be able to create that kind of a sound on Super NES. Suppose we create that piano-type sound with 10 notes, and you still have 6 notes left. This means you can fit in sounds of other instruments.
This
and
means you can play the
certainly
piano
adds
with one
complexity
hand
to the
and a
game.
forearm.
ですね、今回に関してもコンピュータグラフィックスの技術っていうのを2通りのパターンとしてゲーム中に
Having used the kind
able
of
to
software
use
they used for
two
music like that,
types
it
of
was certainly
CG
something. I
technology in
bet.
this game. One is the movie technology.
I don't know if it's on one of these demo discs, but I have seen like old archival footage from the development of Spyro, where Stuart Copeland is showing like how he like made the music for it. I think I talked about this on a previous demo disc night. And there's a really funny moment in there where he talks about, oh yeah, and there's this really great thing. It's called quantizing. And you just press this button. If you fucked up some of the notes and some of the rhythm and timing, you just press this button and it just fixes it for you. And it's like he presents it like that straightforward and just kind of just like not that like quantizing is like evil. It's not, you know, like playing to a click track is very difficult, and maintaining tempo is extremely difficult. I fucking suck at it. It's just very funny to like watch a composer just be kind of like, yeah, I played this bad, but the computer fixed it for me.
Where you create motion pictures using CG software and store it on CD-ROM. The other is polygon-based technology, where you create 3D objects and make them move.
We have twice as many polygons as Final Fantasy VI.
Generated one after another, and all
in fact, we had to by
on
default.
the game console. You realize how powerful current technology is.
Oh, hang on. Valeno's taking advantage of the fact that he can post links in my chat. Yeah, boy. Look at that. Chaos. Like actual chaos. What's funny is that I know that ultimately what this is sheet music laid out in columns rather than, you know, horizontal clefs or whatever. But still.
Thanks to CD-ROM, cinematic expressions which were impossible in the past have become available. For example, we can now
the files
show close-ups on characters' faces.
Wow, that actually is crazy if you still have some of that
The
stuff.
game screen is no longer a stage-like space. However, movies can be seen in movie theaters. In order to make this thing attractive to game players, we tried hard to put playable elements in the scenarios. We made it so players will not have to follow our pace.
In order to make this a video game, we put gameplay in it.
今まで特にゲームとしての感触なんですけども
Jazz Diagrams where you learn it because someone uploaded
There
the
were
original.
big
Oh,
differences
okay.
between ordinary scenes and special effects scenes.
I mean, a lot of times that's the best way to learn anything, right? Is to follow like someone else's example of like the raw information that they used.
And they were arranged in a certain order. The players would accept that as an established style and take for granted characters going through monotonous map scenes and then special effects being used in highlight scenes. They understood it as the grammar of the games, especially RPGs. We tried to break that understanding. For example,
All the music
even
in
map
Iron
scenes,
Fury game
the
is
characters
made
won't
with
just
that as
move
a-
horizontally,
Really?
but special, sometimes thrilling effects are added. In highlights,
So they really committed
we
to
didn't
like
make
the
it too elaborate
retro,
so
the
that it
retro
will
FPS
excessively
thing,
stand
huh?
out from the other scenes. The players will enjoy the flow of the game from the beginning through the ending, without noticing any intervals or arranged orders.
So actually, we can have completely different
In
looking
battle
character
scenes,
models for the
we
battle
use a lot
scenes.
of camera angles and effects, paying attention to space and 3D. Therefore, the battle scenes become the highlight scenes.
As a matter of fact, you might say it's a really odd decision that the character models look so completely different from from overworld traversal into moment-to-moment gameplay battles.
The 3D effect
Oh,
is
God.
best shown when you use summon beasts. These have always been the most attractive scenes in games, but we had to struggle on how to show them effectively in 2D atmospheres. Now, using 3D technology, more broad effects have been accomplished.
やっぱり横から見た絵で 2D
Sorry, it's very funny. So how is the music used differently? And then they go back to playing the same battle theme that, or it's not the battle theme. It's the it's like the opening. This is the intro. It's the raid theme. Whatever the fuck. Listen, I don't like this game, so whatever.
The music in the field scenes, which is where the character walks around, has a unique flavor that no other RPGs had in the past. We intentionally eliminated the up-tempo, inspiring, rousing type of feel, meant to encourage you to embark on a journey that usual RPGs have. Instead, some parts of the music will rise melodiously. Some parts will make you feel insecure, therefore creating various expressions within the same
Hey, I don't need your music to make me feel insecure, thank you.
I assume players will get a different feel from it compared to previous RPGs. To tell the truth, I hope so, since this is my own experiment.
Good call. I mean, good call all around. The man knew what he was doing. Okay. I think there is one. All right, there's a movie, there's a video on here for Bloody Roar, apparently. What? No!
Ooh, now that's gotta hurt.
No! No! Stop showing me Blasto!
Phone that home, E.T. Better have a doctor take a look.
Stop it! I don't want it anymore! I want to be done!
Well done. I'd help you out, but
I served my time! More like blastro-turfing, but God!
Maybe like that. Housekeeping.
I did the same thing as I did before, where I just started hammering all the buttons, all the shoulder buttons. Okay, so I guess there isn't a thing for Bloody Roar on here, but there is a thing for fucking Blasto because God hates me. Well, that's gonna do it for this disc. Let's jump like right into the next one and hope that it is better than this, because this was a bust. The part where there's like reused stuff, on some level I can forgive putting like the same demos on the disc, because maybe, you know, people didn't get access to the discs or whatever. But reusing the same like promotional material, like fuck off. Like no. It's like when anime does a recap. Yeah, this is the guys, actually, I'm gonna put my entire fucking foot in my mouth. That was the wrong disc. So I think we somehow skipped the other videos on that disc. But remember when I said that these are numbered in a really fucked up way? So I have files that say PlayStation Underground Volume 3. So I was like, that's the one. But no, what I actually grabbed was PlayStation Underground 3. So the third issue, and then they're numbered 3.1 for volume then issue. So that's my bad. I take it back. We have seen that shit before. Let's look at disc 2 of the actual issue of this fucking disc. I should have even caught that like the menu looked different and everything too. The good news is that we definitely didn't. It was a recap. Yeah, I just did the, what is it? I never remember the name of it. What is the Hateful Eight? Whatever show it was. Was it Higurashi or whatever that did the thing where it was like literally the same episode like 8 times in a row or something? Okay, this is different. All right, Endless 8. There we go. All right, so there's demos on here for Contender, Ridge Racer Type 4, WCW Thunder, Taifu, Cool Borders, Siphon Filter, Gex 3, Shadow Madness, Soul Reaver, and Silent Hill. You know what? Hell of a collection. That is a solid collection of demos. They're not all winners, you know, like the fucking extreme games are not winners. And listen, Siphon Filter has some serious problems with it, but I will say I had access to a demo for Siphon Filter. I definitely played the ever-living shit out of that. It wasn't until we actually played it again last year that we found out just how much unfun that game actually is in practice, but it's a good demo. It's a good demo to start with. All right, let's check out the cool moves. This is the shit I was hoping for. Okay, yeah. Man, I'm glad I spotted that because we would have missed a lot of shit here. I do apologize for being an absolute dumbass. All right, let's look at some cool moves for the Crash Bandicoot Warped Platinum Relics. This is actually an idea that I have had. I wrote down as an idea for a stream to do someday, like a challenge stream. And it would have to be, I think it would have to be like multiple streams because it would take too long to try to do in one go. But it's basically, so you earn, after you beat a level in Crash Warped, you can then play it again to do a time trial in it. And you can earn either sapphire or gold relics based on how quickly you complete it. Now, to get 100% completion of the game, you only need to get all of the sapphire. You don't even need to get all the gold relics. However, when you get all the gold relics and complete the game, it then shows you the platinum relic time, which are times that were set by the developers themselves of like the absolute fastest they could possibly beat the levels in. And basically, I have naturally gotten platinum relics without knowing that I was going to get them before. I'm very, very familiar with Crash Warped. I think that it would be fun to attempt like an all platinum relic run because I've never accomplished that before. It would be very frustrating. I would not be talking a whole lot, but I think it would be fun to try. Anyway, let's see what they have to say for some tips and tricks here.
The platinum relics are somewhat of a hidden feature. There's no mention of the platinum relics in the game manual. The only way you'll find them is by playing through and doing the best you can yourself. After you complete the game, collecting all 25 crystals, and defeat the final boss, Neo Cortex, you receive the running shoes. With the running shoes, that allows you to go back to the game, complete all the levels that you've already done, and make attempts at collecting the platinum relics. They're pretty difficult to get. They take the running shoes as well as a perfect run through the level. Now, when I say perfect run, I mean timing. Some of the levels, when you start the level, require a certain timing to complete it perfectly throughout the rest of the level. So
this is definitely one of the hardest levels to do it in. It's called Tomb Waiter.
Stick to the ground, run, to not let go of the run button at all, to hold it through the entire level, and no pausing. Cut as many corners as you can.
But he paused for the mask, which is pretty funny.
Or jumping corners and levels where it switches from a forward to a side-scrolling area.
If this gets the platinum,
not stuck on any sort of boxes, edges, hitting any enemies, taking any damage, falling in any holes.
There's a lot of like mistakes and little pauses here and there that are avoidable. So I'm gonna be surprised if this ends up getting the platinum.
Another tip is to familiarize yourself with the level as best as possible. You need to know what's coming and how to react to what's coming.
Getting the invisibility is a good call because nothing can stop you at that point. Okay. Guess the time trial for that one isn't as crazy as I remembered it. What the fuck is Dragon Seeds?
The cool move that I'll be demonstrating is for Dragon Seed by Jellicle. What I'm going to be doing is copy an existing save to a memory card that does not have Dragon Seed save on it.
So this already cost. So this trick is going to cost you $100 to do.
Saved game to load. Then use that save to fight both copies against each other in versus battle mode. Bet all of your money. Have one surrender. The victor will have twice the money they started out with.
What the fuck is this game?
The winner gets double their money. You go back to the memory manager, delete the loser save, and recopy over the winner save, and you keep the cycle going over and over again and keep doubling the money on one save.
I have
Once
never
you've
seen
accumulated
this.
enough money in versus battle mode, go ahead and continue story mode and beat the game.
I have never seen that game before in my life. That looks boring as fuck. It's like it just looked like some Pokemon shit. YouTube video. Dragon Seeds. Was it good? The backstory is global warming happened, but we found dragons, so it's not all bad. All right. Okay, show me some cool. Oh, God, as if they knew my struggles I was just having this past Sunday.
This cool move is for Metal Gear Solid. The cool move will allow you to have auto-aim capabilities for your FAMAS rifle. Now to do this, you're gonna have to beat the game in any level. And during the game, you're gonna have to survive the tortures of Revolver Ocelot. Once you beat the game, you get the bandana. The bandana gives you unlimited ammo for all the weapons. Once you go back into the game,
So of course this involves in-game
to
cheats.
basement level 2, and you find the room with the FAMAS weapon. Make sure you don't get caught by the infrared sensors here. Now once you get the FAMAS weapon, equip it, shoot all your bullets until it gets to these red bullets. Now these red bullets are called tracer bullets.
Okay.
These tracer bullets give your gun auto-aim capability.
I actually knew
Now,
about
to get
this
it all the
trick.
time, equip the bandana. Now you have unlimited tracer bullets. Now you don't have to aim. The gun aims automatically.
No. I don't think that's true. I think you still have to aim. You can just see where your bullets are going. I don't know. I don't know about that one. What are some cool moves for this horizontal
What this
shoot 'em
cool
up?
move does, it enables you to power up your weapons to its maximum potential, be it lasers or guided missiles. What I'm doing now is collecting the power up, then pausing the game, highlighting and selecting stage select, pressing X to reload the stage. Using this technique, you can collect 3 power-ups until your weapon's maxed out. It gives you a better advantage, especially against the level end bosses.
I love it. I love that some of these are just literally like just cheat. Just
My name
fucking
is
cheat.
Lance with Capcom. I'm a game counselor. The cool thing I'm going to show you today for a Resident Evil 2 DualShock is called the Extreme Battle Mode. What you got to do before you get the Extreme Battle Mode is either win Leon B or Claire B. Once you win the game, you got to let the credits roll. And once the credit roll, it will give you an option to save the Extreme Battle Mode. And that's when you choose yes. And what you do on your next game is you either put in the Claire or
Say
the Leon
yes to
disc,
Extreme Battle
load
Mode.
the game, then go into the arrange data, hit the X button, and there you have it. Extreme Battle Mode is a battle mode where you have to get to the police station and disarm all 4 bombs. And what you do, in order for you to get there, you gotta pick up ammos during the way. You start out with, the most powerful weapons.
I didn't
the
realize that
shotgun,
original
the
RE2 had
Magnum,
like
and your regular handgun.
fucking
And from there, you
dismemberment
have
in
to
it.
go all the way back to the police station and defuse the bombs.
All right. Let's get some tricks for scars.
The cool move I'll be demonstrating is for the game Scars by Vivid Image.
A
Go into the
ridiculous
options
name for what I think is just a
screen,
pretty
and in the
basic
password, you
racing
enter
game.
Allvid, A-L-L-V-I-D. This will open all of the cars that you would have to normally earn through the game and all the tracks and all of the challenge.
Oh, I guess it's like a kart racer. Oh, we're gonna get a guy trying to jump
Next
the
I will
track
be,
again, but
racing the
fuck it
ski
up.
track. and showing
like
you
8 times in a
shortcut that will
row.
cut 30% out of the track and give you an added advantage against the computer. On the ski track, you go under the gondola hood, over to this first fence. 3 sections over, there's a space you can drive through. As you go straight, you have to watch for the walls. If you hit them, the computer will bounce you back out.
Yeah, this looks intentional.
But if you make it, you shortcut 30% off the track, and this can give you an added advantage against it.
That's hilarious.
On the rally track,
Take advantage of this developer oversight.
After the second bridge, there is also another shortcut that will take roughly 40 to 60% off of the track. A much larger advantage. If you can find it, it'll also help you.
These are yeah, they're shortcuts insofar as they're not they do cut out part of the part of the lap requirements, but those were definitely not designed to be that way. That is hilarious. All right, here we go. Okay, let's look at these other ones because they're going to be less interesting. We will end on this custom combo for Dalsim.
I'm going to show you a cool move on Tomb Raider 3 on Thames Wharf, the first level of England, where you can skip the level in about a minute versus the 4 hours it would normally take. What you want to do, you want to head down to the first catwalk, run down the catwalk a short ways, turn around, and jump over the roof in front of you. This will take Laura to the area leading to the first secret. Hop up on the block, and climb up onto the roof.
Listen to the audio get
above her.
fucky.
Walk to the edge, and you'll want to jump down to this area down here. Turn around and run straight down the catwalk to the open area.
I can't tell if the audio
At
is
this
a
point,
result of like skipping
it'd be a
huge
good
parts of
idea
the
to save,
level,
since it will take you a couple tries to get over the barbed wire.
or if it's just something about their
It's a
capture.
good idea to have full energy when you do this, because when you land, you're going to lose virtually all your energy. If you happen to jump too early and travel over the fence at the wrong angle, you're going to land on the barbed wire every time. You need to go straight out on the catwalk and turn virtually at a 90-degree angle and jump straight over the fence. So you lose a lot of energy. And once you're done with that, you just jump back up here and
yeah.
proceed to the end of the level.
Well, this poor guy's probably been practicing this fucking move for hours, and it's like, let's just film the fucking, just roll the tape, and I'll just go. How do you get extra money in Civ 2? Do you you get 2 save
The cheat
files?
I'm showing you today is for Civilization 2, published by Activision. And what it is it's
You
a
have your-
money cheat that
you
lets
have your civilizations fight each other.
Get a lot of cash without having to tax your people and stuff like that, and you can buy all sorts of great stuff.
That doesn't work. I live in
So-
the real world.
All right, you can do this anytime throughout the game. Go to the city menu. Select any of your cities. You go to rename.
Banger
You
soundtrack.
go down to delete. Delete the name of your city. Doesn't matter what the name is. Then you go to enter name. You do an underline here.
That's a spit.
Capital C.
Oh, okay, it is actually an underline.
Small a. Small s.
Okay, so it's a
Then
it's
you
a
hold
literal
R1
cheat code.
while you make your capital H. And then you just triangle out. And you have a ton of gold. And now, what you do with that is you can go to buy whatever you're building. It doesn't matter what. Go to complete it. And you can complete stuff in one turn. And you can conquer the world. And that's how you do it. And you can do it over and over again with any city you want once you do it. So, and that's how you do it.
It's just as ethical as any other billionaire. All right, let's see this 40-hit combo for Dalsim. Valeno, I expect you to commit this to memory.
With Capcom, I'm a game counselor, and one of the moves I'm going to show you here today is for Street Fighter Alpha 3. It's going to be a custom combo of 40 hit with Vizam Dazim. What I do basically
That looks annoying as hell.
I use the jab, which is the square, and the short, which is the X. Then do the slide, then the fireball motion, slide, fireball motion, slide, The secret to pulling off this move is that you got to get them in the corner in the first place, and then once you get them in the corner, just initiate square X, 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 square X. Keep on doing it. Keep it at a steady pace, and you can get a good 40 hit. That should be enough damage to kill your opponent.
There's got to be footage of someone doing that at a tournament, right? Someone must have tried to pull that off, and then got full parried. Okay, so now there should be something for Bloody Roar. Nope. I pressed a whole bunch of there. Okay, there it is. Okay, they got the code wrong again. Did they say this is Bloody Roar or Bloody Roar 2? Did I miss the? Because this definitely looks different from the game that we played, which was 1. I kind of like this, where it's just like here's just an unbroken, just one unbroken fight. Just okay. Now we have seen the actual Volume 3, Issue 1 of this disc. Excellent. Okay. It is running a little late, but fuck it. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go. We do one more, yes? All right, let's make sure that I'm picking the right one this time. This is 3.2. Definitely actually doing it. I'm gonna hide the game info because it doesn't work on this emulator. All right. Let's just jump right in. 3 months have passed. How many more wrestlers await us? A little disappointed that there was no music video on that one. They must have finally listened to all of their fans.
Hola, Maggie here, the PlayStation Underground's new computer-generated host. I'm supposed to introduce each issue, but as you may or may not know, 3D graphics like me are expensive, so I've been told not to waste any time.
All right, Maggie, they probably already know that, so just tell them what's on this issue.
Chill out, Pushy. I was just introducing myself. Our producer, too many cappuccinos.
I heard that.
Yeah, well, lighten up. Okay,
It's
let's get
one
down
letter
to
off
it.
from being
First
one
up,
hell of a
we got a chance to sit down
line.
with some of Sony's heavy hitters, including Ken Kutaragi, Kaz Hirai, and Phil Harrison, to get the exclusive 411 on the product everyone is saving their arcade quarters for, the next generation of PlayStation. Then, I got to rack up the frequent flyer miles and expand my anime collection as we headed over to the land of the rising sun. We got to check out this year's hot new titles at the Tokyo Game Show and spend some quality time with the creators of Star Ocean and Jammer Lammy.
Okay, all right.
That Lammy plays a mean guitar with her riffs and my moves. Talk about your girl power. We also got to spend some time down in
Rock
sunny
on.
Southern California at the video game industry's largest trade show, E3. Check out our
We're getting
evaluators
TGS
for the
and
show.
E3 coverage.
Well,
All
that's
right.
a tiny portion of what we've got crammed into this issue. When you're done trying out the import title, downloading stuff for your memory card, and checking out every nook and cranny of CD1, grab your controller and head over to the vault. The new demos include Final Fantasy VIII, MLB 2000, and Ape Escape, just to name a few. All right, how was
Finally,
that?
some good games.
Speed it up.
Sure, how's this? First, I got to rack up the frequent flyer miles and expand my anime collection as we head over to the land of the rising sun. We got to check out this.
Nope. Skip. 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 Not a good joke. Skip. Oh, look at us outside the theater now. Oh, God. All right, so we got more bullshit about Project Wormhole. Bulletins and insider info. Oh, the import is Sumu. Okay, yeah, it is a block pushing puzzle game. Some next gen PlayStation talk. Behind the scenes of Unjammer Lammy and Star Ocean. E3. Okay, all right, we got some cool stuff on here. There's promise ahead. I'm already looking up codes for this. Okay, well, this is on a different website. Why all of a sudden have the websites changed? But hold the secrets. Okay, there we go. All right, we got some stuff. Again, it looks like no music videos, but all right, Project Wormhole. What do you? What? How close are you to being done? This game never came out, by the way. This game did not get produced. Shocking, I know. I feel like they spent most of their time and money making all this bullshit CG for it.
Welcome to part 5 of Project Wormhole. In this issue, we introduce new weapon and enemy types, as well as a brand new car. In response to popular
loose
demand,
definition of car.
DualShock analog controller and enhanced sound effects.
Oh!
We also added
I'm
some special
vibrating.
effects to improve the look of the game. These included some nice-looking explosions and weapon effects. Those tiny missiles from the last issue sure were hard to see, so we attached some smoke to help them stand out. We use a series of translucent sprites to draw the smoke.
As a matter of fact, all of it was hard to look at.
A sprite is a two-dimensional image that we create ahead of time in a graphics program on a PC. To make it look like real smoke and fire, it should be translucent. We want to be able to see through it at least a little bit.
That looks very real.
The explosion so you can see how it looks. Creating good special effects takes a careful combination of programming and art. In the next section,
It's
check out some of the things we
1999.
created. Then preview what will happen in
1999.
Wormhole
Look at all
Part
the
6.
green ones and zeros. and then we just closed the video out on the specials sound bite from the Tony Hawk games. Your glasses off, they look perfectly realistic. Yeah. All right, let's play it. Oh shit! Hey! Hey, you know what? It does look a little bit nicer. They slowed it down. So I'm not getting motion sick anymore from this. Okay. And then they spat in my face. How do I go like all the way around? Do I need to like draw a circle with the D-pad? Do I need to like swing my way? It's like momentum based. Ooh. All right, that's enough. What's happening in the next issue, do you wonder?
Next issue, Project Wormhole continues as we look at adding articulated objects to our world. Keep your ideas coming on how to make our minigame great. See what other people are suggesting by visiting www.playstation.com.
Looks like the grid bots
and choosing
from
PlayStation
Tron.
Underground online. Post your own ideas there or mail them to us at this address. Wormhole is a team effort and we want to know what you think.
Okay, great. All right, give me the goods. Here we go. Wait for it to load back to its original state. All right, let's just go in order this time, especially since we know that we can basically skip the bulletins, so we can just blast through these really quick. Hidden. Let's make sure there were no other extra hidden codes. There was something for Pool Hustler. There was all sorts of shit that wasn't. Well, oh well. I wonder why those weren't listed in the, why did no one write those down if they were very obviously written in these things? You know what? Just for the hell of it, take a screenshot of this. Maybe the Pool Hustler video is cool, or at least funny. All right, let's check out, I mean, should we spend our time on this? Because this game did come out. This game released. I actually do have the ROM of this. But I guess since, because this was a Japan-only release, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that this ever got localized. It's just a funky little puzzle game. It's very cute. This is very much of like the cutesy like Hamtaro chibi side of like Japanese art. It might also be broken. It might also just not work. Hello? Hello? Okay. Well, you know, take my word for it that that game exists. It's a cute game. It is a cute game. You know, part of the thing about these demo discs is that I do not expect them to emulate perfectly. So I'm not surprised that we're running into a couple of issues tonight. But I don't feel so bad because that game did come out. It is a quality product. You can find out about that game if you want.
The next PlayStation is coming. As a PlayStation Underground subscriber, you get a front row seat.
Our dream from a business point of view is to...
Sorry, very quickly. Again, this is 1999. We are still in the era where E3 it's an investors meeting, right? It is an industry meeting. We are not doing, there's no fucking YouTubers being paid to scream hooray for things. We are men in suits giving dry ass PowerPoint presentations.
Grow the market for computer entertainment into a superset of music and movies.
They would stay that way all the way up through to the announcement of the PS3.
Becomes a legitimate mass market entertainment.
We formed the new team for the next generation of PlayStation immediately after launching PlayStation. So we started to...
He has no idea the dew bunker is on the horizon.
in 1995.
The design of the next generation PlayStation was put together.
It would be a while before that would happen, but you know, truly no one would be prepared.
The game player to experience TV quality images.
Dew bunker, Doritos Pope. You know, there's a lot that was about to happen.
A great film, reading a great book, or listening to a great piece of music.
How do you do that?
Some impressive hair animation for the time.
Next generation PlayStation is emotion. How do you convey emotion of the game characters?
Realistic facial
animation. He's still in the mix, isn't he?
Camera, you can see that my face moves whilst I talk, and as my mouth moves, that the muscles stretch. And that's what realism is all about, is being able to get the subtlety of movement into the 3D.
Oh, he
graphics.
retired last year. Okay.
The new system is going to open up a whole new avenue of creative expression. Today, great games like Gran Turismo and Tekken and Game Day are at the pinnacle of their genre on the current platform. But they use relatively simple technology to create that experience. In the next generation of a driving game, for example, on the new PlayStation, we will be able
What did I fucking tell you? What did I tell you guys?
Elements of what makes a car work. The tire physics, the friction.
Gran Turismo is the game they use to show off the graphics of the next thing.
Accurate impact on the way that the game
every
handles.
time. Every
This
time.
allows for a wide variety of gaming experiences to be generated. In the current world of game development, you would use motion capture to establish the animation of a character.
We put some ping
But
pong
going
balls
forward,
on
we
a
can now
car.
start to physically and
Oh
biologically
no!
simulate how a
Oh
human
no!
brain works.
Oh,
And we
the
can
Ally
use some
McBeal
very
nightmares are
complex
here.
algorithms called inverse kinematics and dynamics to simulate the entire physical skeleton of a player.
What is this demo? What?
Each player uses 10,000 polygons. To put this in context, Game Day and Madden use about 250 polygons per player.
Still doing
But
polygon
it's
counts.
also important to remember that
Count up them
beautiful
triangles,
graphical
boys.
experiences aren't necessarily generated by millions of polygons, but by the best special effects and the most subtle use of lighting, pixels, and texture mapping. It's not all about winning a huge polygonal race, but this is a
Yes
race of
and no. Okay, I mean, you're halfway there.
This demo that we're showing right now shows some real powerful lighting and animation techniques.
I'm a sucker for
called motion
particle
blur.
effects.
Now,
That looks
this,
pretty cool.
Allows us to track the speed at which an object moves, and just like in real life, if I move quickly, there is a persistent blur behind the object. Each one of these firecracker particles is being rendered many times onto the screen. In fact, this demo is being drawn at 60 frames a second, but it's actually being rendered at 600 frames a second. And we can also freeze it like this, just like you see in some TV commercials right now where you can spin the camera around.
This
and
is
the
some
object
classic
frozen.
shit that
Once again, there are tremendous creative.
I would have eaten this up. This is extremely my shit. This is absolutely just like showing off the different particle system. The amount of times that I watched the tech demo for the Euphoria engine back when they were developing that to be used in Force Unleashed, the Star Wars game, when they show off like the part where like they have like a wooden board and they show how they can break it apart in different spots. It'll like destroy itself like dynamically, like with full physics and everything. I watched that video so many times. Like I was so enamored with like anything physics, anything that was like physics development, seeing that stuff going to end up being in an actual video game, like destructible environments and stuff like that. Like that is the stuff that like hits like so hard for me.
Possibilities with this. If somebody throws a ball in a baseball game, or a fast moving car overtakes you, or a
So
laser
showing
beam
me
from
like
a
per
weapon.
object
These
motion
demos
blur,
give you just
absolutely.
some of the hints of the building blocks of where we can go creatively and entertainment wise with the new system, and that's what it's all about.
The most aggressive challenge was
It's a series of ones and zeros.
So the current chipset utilized half-micron semiconductor technology. But what we are now challenging.
Oh, it's one of Valeno's old music files.
Very, very high-end semiconductor technologies. It was very, very difficult. Finally, we could develop a nice chipset for
Forcing everyone to turn off motion blur indefinitely. All right, listen. Listen, you fucks. Motion blur is good. Object-based motion blur is good. Now, I will agree. Camera-based motion blur that happens on like camera rotation and shit like that, absolutely. Turn it off. I don't blame you. That makes total sense. I ain't about smearing the entire screen. But object motion blur is necessary to create realistic and impactful animation. That's how it works. I use motion blur in all of my shit. Everything that you've ever seen me animate on the stream, I use motion blur on it. It is the key ingredient to putting realistic movement on things, because as Mr. Suit Man was explaining earlier, it is how the human eye works. You need blur in order for things to look realistic to people. Animation smear, motion blur, fantastic. Animation blur uses Vaseline smear on a camera, no good. Yes, that is the correct take. That's the correct take. The only time I could make the argument where animation motion blur wasn't a good thing is in, I think it's Virtua Fighter 5. It's either it's one of the Virtua Fighters or it's one of the Tekkens, one of the later Tekkens. It might be Tekken 5. But there is one fighting game from that particular generation where every time they throw a punch, you cannot make out their fists. Like, they really went fucking crazy on it. It does look fucking insane. That's just using it incorrectly, but using it in the right context, but not at the right intensity. But yeah, when I hear people complain about motion blur, I feel like it is a huge generalizing sweeping statement and no one knows what it means. And it's the same people who turn on fucking True Motion on their TVs. And I don't trust people who do that.
That motion engine that contains over 10 million transistors on the chip. That's a little bit bigger than the latest Pentium 3.
We have built the fastest multimedia processor on the planet. What allows us to achieve this performance is by having a very dedicated and single-minded design for the chip. Other chips in the world have to appear in everything from vacuum cleaners to PCs and the desktop. What we designed into the Emotion engine was the power and performance required specifically for the intensive 3D graphics capabilities and demands of the next generation of software. Plus,
saw a presentation from one of the Lucasfilm founders. We talked about how they came up with this Eureka moment, pretty wild.
Also,
yeah,
abilities like the decoding.
I bet. Like that is, it's so intrinsic. It is so important. It's why when you look at like traditional like 2D animation, if you look at like Looney Tunes, you know, if you go like, I'm talking like if you go like way back to like early animation, you see it all the time now. Still, it is still utilized. But there are some really, really amazing like freeze frames from some of those old cartoons where the characters are stretched out in a completely insane degree, that in the moment you absolutely do not catch, right? Like you do not see it in the full context of everything. Like your brain has already moved on from it. But if you don't have it in there, the movement doesn't look right. You know, like you have to exaggerate things because that's how our brains interpret things. We see things one-to-one, but when you think about, I've talked about this before, when you go back into like think of any time you've ever told a story, right? You never ever tell a story, no matter how mundane it is. You never tell a story or share a memory about anything with crystal clear, 100% accurate clarity, right? You always embellish some part of it. There's always something that you focus on because that is how we form our reactions to things, right? Like that is like we hold on to important information and then exaggerate it so that we don't lose it. It's why when I talked about like Uncharted's like facial animation, you know, like they don't just do performance capture, they do performance capture and then go in and then like tweak all the sliders so that Nathan Drake's eyebrows go like 3/4 of the way up his fucking forehead. Because if they didn't do that, it wouldn't look realistic. You need to exaggerate things. You need things like motion blur. You need things like that in order to make any of it actually seem legitimate. I remember seeing the behind the scenes on a Final Fantasy VII remake where you can play the monster and character animations. The blur steering is so insane and specific. It's very cool. Guilty Gear, Xrd, and Strive do it a ton. Yeah, and to bring Final Fantasy into the conversation even more, 16 is the same way. You know, I think Shredwin might have been in my chat when we were doing it, where he was just like, please make sure you turn motion blur on because the magic effects look like garbage without them. Like they are designed, those particle effects and everything are designed to use motion blur in order to look the way that they should. And they use it to really, really incredible effect in that game, you know, especially for like the scale of some of those battles, like how fucking insane some of the stuff in that game gets. Imagining it without like what is essentially the behavior of a camera, you know, like it wouldn't feel right. It would look too clean. It would look too crystal. And like you need those exaggerations in order for it to actually register with people as real. It's very counterintuitive, right? It's like, to make something feel real, you have to make it unrealistic, but that's just how our brains are wired, you know? Like there's a century of filmmaking and animation, you know, knowledge and study behind this. Like, it's not just random. And people who want to like turn that stuff off all the time, like, fundamentally misunderstand why that stuff needs to exist. I am so on my fucking soapbox about this.
Streams from our DVD disc.
By the time we make a product announcement, the technology for modem and modem connectivity may take another leap forward. Once we actually make the product announcement, then we should be able to say what kind of connectivity the PlayStation will actually have.
The answer is yes, it will connect online, only for one game. It's called SOCOM. You're probably not going to want to play it. It's a realistic military shooter, and it's basically the only game that's going to support the modem. As a matter of fact, we're going to sell versions of the game specifically with the modem packed in so that people can actually play the game as intended, because there's no other use for it.
I'd like to see controls that are not necessarily in terms of having more buttons or levers. I think there are enough already, and you only have 10 fingers.
I'm speaking to you now, so why shouldn't the device
Some of us don't even have 10.
my voice? I should be able to wave at it and do things like this. A video camera could pick up these motions, interpret them, and generate a response.
Let's start talking about the PlayStation Eye. Let's go. A peripheral I fucking have.
The next generation PlayStation uses 3 industry standard interfaces as part of the technology. We have IEEE 1394, which is called iLink, used in the next generation of digital video devices like still cameras and video cameras. We can now have digital media in as well as out. Now, what I mean by that is being able to put my face or your face into the game. USB, which stands for Universal Serial Bus, allows us to connect to a huge variety
I also have a Kinect.
of standard peripherals like joysticks and keyboards and mice and a whole bunch of things that haven't even
I've been
yet.
wanting to do a
And
Kinect stream
PCNCIA
since the day I decided
gives
to
us
start streaming.
connectivity to devices like modems, memory devices, even hard drives, and other standard computing
According to the
devices.
you don't.
Well, let's be very clear about this. The next generation.
You remember the conversation you and I had about, like, when I learned about how like sensors in sinks are calibrated to a specific type of hand? Kinect, man, it's just another example of just like, you know, like your biases. Like you don't think about the way that it affects, you know, the world around you. It's fucking crazy, man. The Kinect is racist.
PlayStation is designed specifically for high-end in-home entertainment. Now, right now, that means video games. We will broaden the definition of what entertainment.
You really
means
weren't
over
missing out
time,
on much.
But
there were basically like 3 interesting things on the Kinect. One of them was the dance game that was put up by Harmonix, which was the thing that I actually did play the most on Kinect. Because it was basically, what if Just Dance actually gave a shit about how you were performing, instead of just you waggle the controller around and somehow that's supposed to translate to dance moves. Like, Just Dance is such a fucking snake oil, smoke and mirror bullshit show. There was that. There was this like conductor game type thing that was less of a game and more, it was more like that Spice World game where it was kind of, you were kind of like taking samples and different orchestrations and arrangements of popular songs and kind of like making your own mixes out of them. And then Fruit Ninja. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much all the Kinect was good for.
we're not building a PC here.
It's really an interactive entertainment console.
Yes, it will. It'll actually be 100% backwards compatible, believe it or fucking not.
Which means that any PlayStation titles that you have in your current library will also play on the next generation PlayStation.
Man, that's cool. I sure hope you guys keep that up for every console after it.
Console has done that.
The picture has 100 years history, and the music has over 1,000 years history. But the computer has only 26 and 7 years history.
We're only starting to scratch the surface of the emotion that we can put into games. If somebody was to burst into tears as a result of experiencing a next-generation PlayStation game because of the raw power of the emotion that is inside the product and the storytelling, then we've all succeeded in our jobs.
I know a whole bunch of weebs are gonna lose their shit at Final Fantasy X.
To do things in software that have never, ever been done before. I'm not quite sure where it's gonna go, and that's what makes it exciting.
Again, like one of the things that I really enjoy about doing this is like the tone of the coverage, right? You know, like these are like the Sony guys here, right? Like these are the guys making the thing happen. Still, honestly, yeah, there is some buzzwordy type nonsense in there, but ultimately pretty grounded, pretty straightforward, pretty like basic information, you know, a lot of promises without really saying anything too specific, but not so flowery over the top bullshit, you know, where it's kind of like, okay, well, they didn't really say anything at all, you know, like there was still some semblance of like they're real people making a real thing. Speaking of real people making real things, let's look at the behind the scenes of Jammer Lammy in Star Ocean. I don't think I realized that Star Ocean was a PS1 game. But it definitely is one. Only played 4. I think I have played one of them very briefly. I might also be thinking of the wrong series altogether. Apparently, I played less than an hour of Star Ocean: The Last Hope. Adjacent enough to Tales games for having an active battle system. Oh, okay. All right, let's check out the making of Jammer Lammy, a game that I did not really enjoy my time with.
Her hot guitar licks have made her an international megastar overnight, even though her first release, Jammer Lammy, won't hit stores until
Where
August.
is that
So who is
Parappa
Lammy?
mascot costume,
What's
and
the
can
name
I have
Jammer
it?
Lammy all about, and what's she really like? The publicity
Really
shy
good
star
pre-rendered
refuses
backgrounds?
all
Hell
interviews
yeah.
and hides from the press off stage. But we crisscross Japan to track down members of her staff, including manager Masaya Matsuda, the man who made Parappa the Rapper famous.
Katie, Parappa's friend, introduced us. Lammy seemed quiet and reserved at first.
People ask where she came from. There are rumors she was born with a guitar in her hand.
When she picks up the guitar,
Man,
she
I
goes
don't know.
wild.
I got fucking
There's something in the
high and
music
just started
that really
writing.
reaches people.
Lammy and I have a relationship. It's a one-sided love affair. I won't say who to whom. I play sad songs about her on my guitar.
Her old chip band, Milk Can, has been asked to
Sorry, I think I stopped paying attention in the beginning. What the fuck is happening right now?
play clubs across the US. We're considering it.
There's a new rock star in town. What's her story? You get it first. Her demo's waiting in the vault. Next issue, footage from her earliest days reveals a Lammy nobody knows.
Ooh, I hope you guys' right ear is enjoying this crowd screaming. Good Lord. You know what? Honestly, appropriate. All of that made as much sense as anything in that game does. All right, Star Ocean. Show me what you got. I'm not surprised to hear that an RPG from the PS1 had really good pre-rendered backgrounds. Oh, hang on. It's the rules to Begonia, the monster spin game.
Of all types of games, RPGs need that extra space the most. That's why more and more role-playing games are coming out on PlayStation. And of all of them, one is the most vast and engaging RPG ever. It's called Star Ocean, the second story. We visited Enix in Japan to meet the team and find out the features that make this game so big and successful.
I think conventional RPGs are too easy. I wanted to make a game as challenging as a traditional old-time RPG, with a deep storyline and complex systems so true RPG fans can really enjoy it.
One feature that deepens gameplay is that you can experience the story from two different viewpoints. Play as either Claude or Rena, reluctant heroes who join forces to fight evil. Another innovative feature is that unlike many RPGs, you can truly control who joins your party.
Oh man, there is no chance I would have given this game a shot as a kid. Not a chance.
In a traditional RPG, a group stays together in a town. But this game imitates life, where people split up and seek their own thing. The story changes depending on whom you decide to follow.
There are over 80 endings in this game. It was hard to stop coming up with more because there's so many ways the characters could come together.
Battles have more choices too. You can choose to play them in real time, just like in a fighting game.
Look at all that parallax going on.
And a skill system lets you grow each character uniquely.
This
one might become a karate guy.
I am sure that this game probably kicks ass for the people who are into it. Seeing that looked like a possible 10 controllable characters, I don't think we're going to be seeing this game on my channel anytime soon.
Another swordsman. Another might learn to fight with his bare hands. Several characters' skills can be joined in a link combo.
I have a hard enough time maintaining one character in any one of these kinds of games. These battle sequences do look kick-ass. This all looks awesome. I love how active the camera
There's a great
is.
visual effect for every kill or move in the game.
God damn. Okay, visually, this looks fucking phenomenal.
Each character's emotional level is tracked, and this changes how they think and act. If you choose to have two characters become friends, the death of one in a battle might trigger intense rage and wild new attacks from the other. Other skills also make the gameplay deeper. Choose abilities like composing, cooking, or metallurgy. Then use those skills to create, customize, or find over 1,000 items.
And then they show me the menus. I'm looking, that says out of 1,022 items.
It might be useless if you keep it as is, but with your skills, you can make it into something else, like a custom weapon.
I've said before, and I'll say again, and he's out. Yep.
All these new features give you a freedom that challenges your creativity.
I wish I had the brain for it.
To finish the whole
I
game
really
with no one
do.
else in his
Like
party.
I will forever
To
be.
create a tower of people in a fight.
I will forever be jealous of people who can really wrap their heads around like this kind of like.
With so many possibilities and endings, players in Japan have reported
Inventory
easily
and
spending
character
over 100 hours
management
exploring
and-
Star Ocean. It's getting a reputation as the most vast RPG ever, with gameplay as big as its name.
Baldur's Gate 3 is considered like one of the greatest games of all time, and I will never finish it. I will never finish it because trying to maintain 4 separate characters at any given time during a battle sequence is just, it's too much. It is far too much. I can only process so much information at once. All right, take me to E3. where the coolest games are.
Imagine getting paid to check out all the new games that want to be on the PlayStation platform. That's what the game evaluators do. Hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. At E3, the biggest game trade show of the year, we got 2 evaluators, Chris Cologne and...
I will say this already looks markedly different and more. You can already tell like the production value has gone like way up and way crazier compared to when we watched the E3 video from. Well, the one from 1997, like that was like the most like bare bones fucking like dudes in a conference room type thing. But the one that we watched on one of these other PlayStation Underground, basically every time we've seen like E3 coverage on one of these discs, you can see it grow a little bit more, get a little more casual, a little more casual, a little more casual. That said, this was still, these are all like journalists and investors and stuff like that, you know, like they were letting in, we still weren't quite letting in like the common man to a lot of these.
Vitello to pick what they thought were some of the coolest new titles.
Fucking Omega Boost, Ace Combat 3, Final Fantasy 8.
If you're a big fan of Japanese anime or giant combat, Omega Boost is the game for you. Omega Boost
Spoiler alert, you're about to see more of this game specifically less than 24 hours from now.
Speed is unbelievable. We got 19 diverse stages, true 3D free roaming environment.
Omega Boost kicks so much ass. It is such a good game, and you know it's a good game because it's featured in Eiffel 65's song about the PlayStation.
It is truly amazing. Burning around town, cops on your butt. That's Driver.
Driver is a little less cool than Omega Boost.
Simulation, or as close as possible simulation to Hollywood car chases and TV shows. Things such as the Dukes of Hazzard, Smokey and the Bandit. One of the things that we really try to make different about this game is that most driving games or racing games taking place on a normal looping track. With Driver, you can actually drive anywhere. There's around 30 miles of road in each city, 4-wheel independent suspension, or you can see as you go flying over the hills of San Francisco.
Driver is very impressive from a technical standpoint for being an open world driving game.
Now, it's stored the entire chase, so I can play that chase back like this. I can stop the camera at any
it beat
time,
Grand Theft Auto by several years and a full generation.
This year's survival horror has a new name. Dino Crisis.
Hey, guess what? Spoiler alert for another game you're going to see pretty soon.
The amazing CG intro and all of the other gameplay elements that made Resident Evil series so popular. Some of the things that make the game suspenseful are the way the dinosaurs act like they're hunting you as their prey. They like to play with you, they like to run after your character, they'll stop and stare at you and come at you. At all costs, they're trying to get you. Resident Evil is like a haunted house. Dino Crisis was like a roller coaster. Much more in your face, jumping out of windows, smashing through doors.
One of the best dogfighting games around on the PlayStation is without a doubt Ace Combat 3.
One of the coolest new features in Ace Combat
This
3
game
is the ability
also
to look around
awesome.
your plane from first-person point of view to third-person point of view. This allows you to actually track your enemies much easier. And it's all done in real time, so gameplay is not affected when you do
This game is awesome because it's the one that established that air combat can go to space.
Backwards. It's one thing that's been added to the game that you couldn't do before. The story is always changing. In the beginning, you can become a peacekeeping officer. The next minute, you're a renegade, and this is all done in real time. Marvel's Outlaw.
I mean, technically that only happens in the Japanese release because they gutted like half of the content for the U.S. release, but who's counting?
Franchise in the history of comic books, and it's a syndicated television running 5 years. We have 14 characters pulled from all of the X-Men history.
I don't think this game came out.
As Age of Apocalypse alternatives with extra moves, extra abilities.
Did this game end up becoming X-Men Mutant Academy?
Real-time motion blur, a dynamic fighting camera system, which will allow the camera to move around the arena in ways that enhance the 3D feel of the fight.
Big wheelie.
There was X-Men Children of the Atom, but that was an arcade port.
Featuring Ricky Carmichael.
The greatest thing about Championship.
Yeah, I don't think that game came out. That game must have turned into Mutant Academy.
The challenge with motocross,
which is not very good.
A sensation that's not just like racing a skinny car, but rather racing a two-wheeled motorcycle that is very difficult to control, especially on loose dirt or other grassy, wet surfaces like that.
Pretty bold to say our racing game controls like shit.
You can just get huge air and rip really sick tricks. There are over 12 unique tracks in the game, and it's real tight. There's a lot of collisions, and you really got to stay out in front of the pack.
Crash is back in the race of his life with Crash Team Racing.
Naughty Dog is very excited for the first time in many years to be bringing a totally new engine to the PlayStation for Crash Team Racing, 4th Crash Bandicoot series. It's totally new, 1-player, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player racing game. You go through over 20 levels, and now for the first time you get to play as Crash, Coco, Cortex, Engine, Tiny Tiger.
I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not really a fan of kart racers in general.
It's head-to-head combat like you've never
I'll
seen
play him
before
for a
on
bit, and I did pick up the Crash kart remaster, remake, whatever that was from a couple years ago. But I didn't play a lot of it. I find that they're ultimately like good, like pick up and play for like a little bit, like a session here or there. But I've never really gone all the way through one. And as a matter of fact, the only kart racer game that is on the backlog is Diddy Kong Racing, because I played the demo. I would play that in like Toys R Us's and stuff so often, and that game has like an actual like campaign mode. There's like actually like there's kind of an overworld and stuff like that. So there's more to the overall experience for it. And even then, I do not like go play Diddy Kong Racing a whole bunch in my free time. I very rarely pick it up. Like, it is kind of on the backlog by virtue of just, it's the only kart racing game that ever really held my attention for being like a lot more like unique. You know, like there's a lot more going on between like the different vehicle types and the planes and everything. Like there's a bit more going on in that game than like Mario Kart, which was just pretty straightforward, and you just kind of just like win races, unlock move tracks, and then move on with your life. Okay, we have a couple things here. Because I think we've gone through everything. We kind of skipped over briefings, whatever. Yeah, that's it. All right. We skipped the download stations because there's not really much point in looking at those. But apparently there's a video for Medal of Honor. This game, I don't know if this game necessarily holds up super well in the grand scheme of things. At the time, this game was pretty goddamn crazy. It also came out at a time when like we were really getting into like the World War II media stuff was becoming a whole thing. This was a year after Saving Private Ryan, you know, like this was World War II media, like was the thing for like 10 years. That is extremely little information to go off of. Medal of Honor has some of the most impressive animation, like character animation, on the system. It is all canned animations, but it's all motion captured, and it's done not procedurally, but it is like location based. So basically, as you are shooting Nazis, you are like there's like a specific animation for basically every single point of contact on their body that made the combat in that game feel really impactful, and it was also just very cinematic, you know, for especially for a system for which like first person shooters were kind of not even kind of, they were very wonky, you know, on the PS1. Like the PS1 is not really made for first person shooters. And Medal of Honor definitely was one. There's just kind of like, oh shit, they actually like made something like really impressive in just like nailing like that tone and the like the intensity of some of those scenarios that they run you through. It's a good game. It is a good game. I never played much of Underground, which is the Medal of Honor Underground, I believe. It's actually on the backlog because I just skipped it. Just never got a chance to really play it. All right, apparently there is a message from the PlayStation Underground team. Hey guys, thanks for all your hard work on the magazine and sampler projects. Good luck on your future endeavors. I guess these are two guys who quit. Great. And then there is a producer picture. Yeah, that's the graduate. Yeah, they graduated. Oh, it's literally the same code. Why is it, man? Someone's got to clean up some of these cheat pages. Okay. We are rapidly approaching the end here. So let's see what demos were included on this. And I imagine there's probably going to be some other game videos on here. And then we'll go back to the other disc and see what that Pool Hustler thing is all about. In the hopes that it will be funny enough to end stream on. All right. Demo for Unjammer Lammy. Guys, all right. So you're not quite Final Fantasy, but you're not quite Power Stone, but you're not quite Tekken fighting game. Tony Hawk. Soul of the Samurai, which I'm surprised there's a demo for it. I feel like Soul of the Samurai is one of those games that now pops up a lot on like underrated and obscure PS1 games. So I'm surprised that a demo for it even existed. Demo for Final Fantasy VIII, but we're gonna hold off on that until maybe tomorrow. Demo for Ape Escape. Another demo for fucking 3 Extreme. Okay, there's the video for the Tokyo Game Show. All right, great. And naturally, they put a booth babe on it to really get our attention.
Hey, Maria, are you going to the Tokyo Game Show?
Yep, I've got my ticket.
Wow, what a skit. Just how different is the video game scene in Japan?
This place is incredible.
I mean, it really looks a lot like E3. They even have the same games. Was that 2 Adas? I love that they went through all the trouble of filming all this stuff with like microphones and everything and then cut it together in this kind of obnoxious sizzle reel. All right, I got some Master Core or Armored Core. Oh, I kind of blurred some of the thing. Gallop Racer 3, the Proto Uma Musume. Gallop Racer 3 is just like Uma Musume, as a matter of fact. The only difference is that the anime girls are represented by horses, which is kind of an interesting move. Yeah. Oh my God, let's do a playthrough of my yacht. Omega Boost again. Yeah, the home version. I had that dance pad. I had that exact dance pad. Literally that one in the video. Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. Man. God. All right. What's in the alphas? There's a video for Jet Moto 3. That's all that's on here.
Tired of your same old racing game? So you think you're a Jet Moto fan? Well, Jet's back with 15 new tracks and lots of speed.
This guy is not fucking around.
It is so fast.
Oh, this editing, the camera angles. God.
New tracks, new bikes, more speed, Jet Moto 3. It will knock you on your...
What did I tell you? What did I tell you at the beginning of this? We are slowly edging into the area, into the era of it's becoming a little less ironic. We're being ever so slightly more serious about this. Well, apparently there are cheats for a soccer game. This also might be wrong because there's a lot of other stuff on. Oh, there we go. All right, there's some. Here's how to get England 66 in Alexi Lalas soccer. Cool, super duper worth it. That's it. That's all. They really, I think they really took to heart people's feedback. They stopped putting music videos on these discs. On one hand, I'm glad that I won't have to edit these VODs anymore, but on the other hand, I am a little sad because it was fun to make fun of the bad music from the 90s. All right. So let's we'll just go back very briefly to see what this other hidden thing on the previous disc was. And if this isn't fucking hilarious, we're just gonna have to be okay with that. What I'm worried about is that there was a game on the PS1 called Pool Hustler. And so what I am worried is that it's just going to be like some cheat codes for the game. It's gonna be an absolute like nothing sandwich here. All right, this is on 3.1. I'm also just hoping that they work at all. Who knows? For all I know, like this magazine got their own codes wrong. Okay. Okay, from the main menu, there is another thing for the DualShock controller. Is this just the Big Show thing? Okay, yeah, it's just all right. So we did watch that. Okay. From bulletins. Circle square. Yep. It's just some trick shot tips for Pool Hustler. There is apparently one other. Okay, there's two other things on here. There's a code for Uprising X. There's one more thing on here. There's one more thing, and it is from, I mean, not that the games were ever good, but it's hard to deny this was, you know, was fairly iconic for the time. It's a code for Duke Nukem: A Time to Kill. Which isn't even like the good Duke Nukem game of the Duke Nukem games that exists. There's actually no good Duke Nukem games, but if you're gonna pick one, like, the original is kind of the only one that I think is actually worth visiting, if for no other reason than it's just like it's a Doom clone. I was so shocked when I mentioned Duke Nukem and Ruby Understood. Well, so Duke Nukem is one of those things that, against all odds and any sense of good taste, like, has prevailed through the years. Part of it is that Duke Nukem is now so fucking infamous for Duke Nukem Forever being developed for like 16 fucking years. And then when it did finally come out, it was still trash. But by that point, you know, it was, everyone just knew what it was. There was no getting away from it, you know. Duke Nukem is the John Cena of video games. Well, I gotta say, overall, it's funny because the games are getting better. Like, the games that are getting demos are getting better, but the videos and coverage are getting worse. like we're definitely, I feel like this was not a great showing for some of the things that were going on. And I wonder if this is because it is in this weird like limbo state where the PS2 hasn't been announced yet. You know, like, they're hinting that there's something coming down the line very soon. So maybe they thought that there would be more stuff to highlight about whatever the new thing was going to be, and then there wasn't. You know, I think the thing that surprises me the most is what I said at the beginning, which was there is now so much available. There's now so much already out there for the system. I would have fully expected there to be even more things to talk about. I would have expected there to be even more stuff to go look at. But really, the only thing they kind of did was for their cool moves segment, you know, showing some cheat codes for a couple of games. But other than that, really just did not have a whole hell of a lot going on. So I am curious, kind of like, because there's basically 6 more issues that were like numbered issues for the PlayStation Underground. And then after that, they do get a little weird because, and I think we may have like actually like skipped over some of them or whatever, because there were the PlayStation Underground jam packs, and what those were basically just straight up just demo discs. As far as I know, that's what they were. As a matter of fact, when I mentioned a while ago that like I had a demo disc with Xena on it, like that's how I ended up finding Xena and wanting to play the full version of that game. It was actually because somehow or another I got my hands on one of these Jampacked discs. I actually looked up PS1 demo disc Xena, and it is the only disc that had a demo of Xena on it. And I must have gotten it from like, it must have been from like a thrift, like Goodwill or something, or from like a rummage sale or a garage sale or something. Definitely ended up with that disc, because I actually recognize like the disc art on it. That was locked away in the brain space for whatever reason. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about mentioning all that with how many more of these discs we still have to go through. We're going to keep doing these. I've made my choice. We are going to keep doing these demo discs on I think on a regular basis. Even though tonight was kind of a dud, I think overall there was still some fun stuff in here. But overall, I mean, just, you know, unfortunately, once Hulk Hogan shows up, it's kind of impossible to enjoy yourself anymore. But there's still interesting things on here. There are still things that are worth looking at. I don't want to be done with this. So I think I am going to stay on this course of, like, we'll try to keep it on like Tuesdays or Wednesdays. You know, just try to, I want to keep up this pace on, you know, when I think about it, the games that I have planned for like October being like spooky month and everything, they're going to take a little bit of time, but that's already getting kind of like pushed and nudged in a weird way because we have to finish VR missions now because I did not complete that game and I do want to like do that. Like that's the plan for this weekend, as a matter of fact, is to try to bang through the rest of that. And again, the bad news for all of you guys is that I am going for first place high score in all of those stages. Like I want that game. I get this way about games so rarely where I want to have like perfected it that like when that mode hits me, I need to capitalize on it because otherwise, because there's so few games that I actually care enough to do that with. And VR missions, for as tight and difficult as those challenges are, I will admit when stream was over, it was satisfying having gotten some of those scores, you know. So I want to do that. Like I definitely want to keep that up. So that's already throwing a wrench into what October's streams were supposed to be anyway. But yeah, we're gonna stay the course on this demo disc thing. It's too much fun. And, you know, I know that like the call was put out there, you know, for wanting to get like the PS2 era of discs and everything. And I mentioned, you know, last week, like on Archive, there is just a full page of just, here's all the PS2 demo Jampacked discs and everything, you know, like there's a lot. And for someone for whom a lot of this channel is about like exploring like these old systems and older games and everything, it feels right, you know, like honestly, of everything that I've ever done, this feels like the most like natural. Yes, this also makes sense for having a retro channel, you know, like it feels in a weird way. Doing these demo disc playthroughs are more on brand than me playing video games in a weird backwards way. Because this is the kind of stuff that I'm actually nostalgic for. You know, obviously I'm nostalgic for the games themselves. It would be ridiculous not to claim otherwise. But it's not just the games. It is this whole era. It is this whole... I was not making things up when I said like I would... cheat code books and stuff that I had like fell apart from the amount of times I would read them, you know, like I really got so into video games. And honestly, I'm the same way about like movies and stuff too. Like I would watch so many making of features and stuff. Like DVD was such like a revelation because now it's just kind of like you can watch the movie and also there's a making of on damn near all of them. I can't tell you how many times I've watched like the making of T2, like on that DVD. Like there is a level of obsession. It is, oh God, excuse me. Like the creation process of these things, of games and movies and stuff is very much that kind of like, oops, someone triggered the special interest switch in my brain, you know. So I want to keep doing these, so I'm gonna keep it up. You know, we may take a break every now and again depending on what things are going on, how things are feeling, but we're definitely going to check out the rest of the PlayStation Underground discs. Like, we still have to get to the part Remember like 2 weeks ago when we looked at one of these discs and it was like, if you have feedback or whatever, or want to send in a video, like we still got to see those. Like I will not rest until we see real people's fucking home videos that they sent to PlayStation.com to talk about how much they love fucking Lara Croft or football players with ping pong balls on them. I need to see every frame of that footage. So we're going to keep it up. In the meantime, though, we are going to be right back here not too long from now. Tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, I'll be back here at 7 p.m. Pacific time, the same time as usual, for our the underrated and spin-off appreciation stream. It is, I mentioned before, it is one of the ones I've been looking forward to the most. It is really just an excuse, more than anything, for me to just rapid fire go through and highlight just a bunch of my personal favorites that I think never really got their time to shine. People don't really know about or think about. And it's, I've done that already with stuff like, like Medieval and MDK and like I've Colony Wars, obviously. Like there have been PS1 games where I've done like full playthroughs of and everything. But given like the theming that we're doing for all the September stuff, this is a good opportunity to be kind of like, all right, every time we've done one of these sampler nights, it has been, here are like 5 or 6 games that are kind of all over the place and offer so many different experiences. And I'm now just going to cherry pick the ones that I like a lot and just show some moments from each of those. So that's happening tomorrow evening, right here, 7 p.m. Pacific. We will be fucking around with a lot of other games. We're going to be messing with a lot of games. Let's get the hell out of here. It is super duper late. I think I'm just going to crash out without a raid tonight, so I can just kind of immediately go into shutdown mode. Even though I am kind of wired, I will admit I am a little bit kind of like, woo, let's go. But alas, the workday does call tomorrow. So I'm gonna say so long and farewell to you guys. Thank you as always for hanging out tonight. These remain some of my favorite streams ever, and I am happy to say that we're gonna keep doing them. So yeah, get some rest. Enjoy your day tomorrow. We'll be back here in less than 24 hours for more PS1 goodness. Please do take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys all on the next one. Adios.